Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet to eat her curds and whey. Along came a spider who sat down beside her, and he said, "Hey, it's in the bowl, bitch." Welcome to Yab Spot.
Hell of an introduction this week.
Yeah, my name's Dalton, and joining me as always is my good buddy Jeremy. Jeremy, how you doing, bud?
Doing all right. So that was the Dice Man, right?
Yeah, totally.
Andrew Dice Clay.
I don't know why. I started off Steam Machine in a similar thing this week.
Yeah.
I've been having to stock the freezer at work, and for some reason when I'm in the freezer, in order to deal with how cold it is in there, I just start talking like that. I'm like, this fucking Fanta.
Fucking New York, New Jersey.
Yeah, I'm like, this fucking Fanta. Who the fuck's gonna drink this Fanta? Ain't no gangsta out there drinking Fanta.
Oh, hey, you a tough guy? Tough guy, eh? Does your mother sew? Get her to sew that.
Boom, get her to sew that. Yeah, I love that. I quote that scene all the time.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking to me in the wrong tone. You do it again, I'll stab you in the face with a soldering iron. Oh, yeah, dude. Fucking tremendous. I love Christopher Walken so much.
Oh, yeah.
Like, one of my favorite lines of his is from the Country Bears. And he's got this model of like Country Bear Hall, and he drops this thing and it just smashes it, and he goes, "Oh no, Country Bear Hall has been crushed." And it's just so overacted on purpose that it's just absolutely hysterical. And me and my buddy Corey just relentlessly quote that. We're just randomly at a party just go, "Oh no."
I think one of my favorites is the speech he gives in Pulp Fiction. "This watch, it belonged to your father."
"I stuck this hunk of metal in my ass for 5.5 years," or whatever the fuck it was.
That's great.
Yeah, dude, he's awesome. I want to watch. There's that series of movies that he was in that were the horror movies. I think it was Prophecy.
I think so. Yeah.
I've never seen them, but like I've always you remember back in the day going into the what they called a movie rental store.
Yeah. They were just,
you'd see all the covers.
There was just racks and racks of grid wall with a bunch of VHS sleeves with styrofoam stuck in them, and they'd usually be like cellophaned, and it'd be on the shelf. And if there was a clamshell behind it, you were in luck. If not, you were fucked.
Yes, sir. And I remember seeing Christopher Walken's face on those, like the Prophecy and shit like that. I need to go back and watch them. I love horror movies.
Dude, I always put Christopher Walken and Willem Dafoe as these two like odd character actors who've never really done anything bad that I remember. Like acting wise, I'm sure they've done shitty stuff in real life, but as far as like acting roles, they've always killed it. Like I've always questioned why the hell has nobody cast Willem Dafoe as the Joker?
Yeah, he's got the perfect expressive face for it.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it's because of that whole, he was the Green Goblin, so they don't want to cast him as the Joker.
I mean, even before that, like, why was he not the Joker? Maybe he was, well, no, because De Niro was it? No.
I don't think De Niro was ever the Joker.
Who's
Nicholson.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson. He was a Joker, which he did a killer job, but man, like Willem Dafoe is just...
Imagine The Dark Knight, but with William Dafoe instead of Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
That'd have been interesting.
That could have been amazing. Apparently,
somebody else.
Apparently Dafoe has a giant dick too.
I've heard that.
I've seen like video clips of the scene in question. He did a nudity scene in some like low budget movie. I don't know if the movie ever even got released, but he did it, and apparently like I think they cut the scene because they said that like his dick flopping around was distracting the crew, and like they couldn't like properly shoot the film. And I'm like, I mean, it's decent size. It didn't seem that big to me, but like he had more than I had for sure. But yeah, he's just fucking. You can look it up, Google it. Google William Dafoe's penis, and there's just a video of him just like fucking dancing around on a fucking soundstage.
I mean, I fucking woke up the other day and opened Instagram and just saw Tommy Lee's dong.
Nice.
And I was like, what the... On Instagram? And it immediately got taken down, so he reposted it on Twitter or whatever the fuck. Yeah. And, man, yeah, like, dude's got a fucking hog. And
oh, yeah.
it was hilarious because now a whole new generation has seen Tommy Lee's dick for the first time.
Nice.
Whereas I saw it plug in Pamela Anderson back in the day.
Yeah, I saw it on that damn boat. I remember showing it to my mom and being like, man, if I had a dick like that, I would never wear pants. I would just walk around with that motherfucker just swinging, knocking fucking children out with it and shit. Like, fucking who cares?
Some comedian was talking about watching that video, and he was like, I had to fast forward for like 30 seconds just to get off of Tommy Lee's penis. Another one of those actors who's like never really, like, they always kill it, but they've never really, like, you know, been in a critically acclaimed role or anything.
Oh, yeah.
Not that those other two haven't. But
they've been in a ton of them, yeah.
Yeah, but Steve Buscemi.
Oh, yeah.
He always kills it in whatever he plays, but I don't know if he's ever won an award. I could be wrong, and if he has, hell yeah, because he deserves it. If you want to check that, because Buscemi is the fucking man.
Has Steve Buscemi won an Oscar? Is the first Google search. Yeah, he's won shit for Boardwalk Empire.
Oh, okay. You know, that's a show that is on my, like, high up on my watch list.
I've never watched it, and honestly, it doesn't really, like, grab me when I see it. I don't know if it's something I would like. I probably would if I sat down and watched it, but, like, just, you know me, I judge shit by the cover, and, like, looking at the image on streaming services doesn't seem like something that would grab my attention.
I feel like that's the Boston, like, Chicago, or not Boston, but Chicago mobsters, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Boston Boardwalk Empire from, like, the Prohibition era, like, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I think.
I believe so, yeah. I know very little about it. All I've seen is the picture on whatever streaming service. But yeah, just never grabbed me. They need to change that picture up. Put, like, you know, big set of tits on there, or, you know, have Steve Buscemi's dong hanging out or something. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. That's a dick. Let's see what this show is all about.
Let's see what this is about.
It's not a little known fact about him. He was a firefighter in New York, and when 9/11 happened, he actually went and signed up with a volunteer fire department to help, like, clear debris and search for corpses or survivors or whatever they were searching for in the rubble. Funny.
I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah. So, all around good guy, I would say.
Yeah, and he was Mr. Pink.
Yeah. And he was Crazy Eyes. Wasn't he Crazy Eyes and Mr. Deeds? Yeah.
Oreos and French fries. You know me too well, Deeds.
And he was he was one of my favorite characters in Billy Madison too.
Yes, when he just shoots that dude in the ass at the end of the movie and he's putting the lipstick on.
I'm glad I called that guy.
Dude, people, you know, critics, people in general, like, they shit on Adam Sandler movies.
Yeah.
I fucking love Adam Sandler movies, and I adore Mr. Deeds. That is such a good movie. Mr. Deeds is a
great movie. You know what else is really good that got a lot of shit? It came out like 2019 or 2020. The Hubie Halloween, I think it was called. The one he did where he was basically like his Waterboy character, but he was like the Halloween police for this little town, and like some really weird shit starts happening, and he's like has to investigate it. You know, he's like that weirdo in the neighborhood that nobody really likes, but like he wants Halloween to be safe for kids, so he like goes out on his bike and shit. Oh, dude, that movie, if you haven't watched that movie, like, spooky season's coming up, watch it. I think it's called Hubie Halloween, and it got a lot of shit, but it's a classic, like, a little bit of slapstick, a little bit of just dumb humor Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking good. Now, if you want fucking, like, Oscar-worthy Adam Sandler, Uncut Gems. That movie was fucking phenomenal.
I feel like we've had this conversation before, but yeah, Uncut Gems is one that I want to watch. But if I had to put up one for, like, an Oscar-worthy performance, in my opinion, he didn't win one for it, but, like, the movie Spanglish.
Yeah.
That movie's really fucking good if you're into romantic comedies, because, like, romantic comedies are very hit and miss with me.
Yeah.
But that one in particular had some drama to it, and it was a really good fucking movie.
I say, if I had to pick 3 less popular Adam Sandler movies that are not, like, in the zeitgeist, would be Punch Drunk Love, Reign Over Me, and that Hubie Halloween movie. Like, 3 lesser known, lesser talked about Adam Sandler movies because Uncut Gems was all the people talked about when it came out, so it was pretty well known. But yeah, those three, not a lot of people talk about them. They're good ass movies.
I gotta throw an anchor, pun intended, to his very first movie he ever did back in the day. It was called Going Overboard.
Yeah.
I have it on VHS somewhere, and we should do a watch along in the Discord with this movie.
Nice.
It's in the beginning. Adam Sandler comes up and he's like, "Hey everybody, how you?" And he's fucking young. He's like, "How you doing?
Yeah.
My name's Adam Sandler and everything. Oh, we're doing this movie because we have a camera and we have access to this cruise ship, and some people who were on the cruise ship agreed to be in the movie. So like when you've heard of low budget films? Well, this is a no budget film. So if there's an earthquake, it's gonna look like this." And the guy just shakes the camera, and Adam Sandler's like, "Whoa!" And then they just made this movie on this cruise ship, and it's not good, but it's not bad. It's so bad it's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Does that make sense? Because it's like just some dudes fucking around. It's tremendous. It's like if me and you had a camera and access to like the St. Augustine Castle or whatever the fuck, like whatever we would come up with, do it there. I don't know. I was thinking the other day, I would really like to write a film that has to do with like horror at a school and see if the schools here would let me film something after hours there. And they probably not.
Probably
like,
not.
Hey,
well, and I wouldn't even say it's the school. A lot of it is like shit like that has to be approved by the county. And getting shit like that approved by the county is just, it's bureaucracy
Nightmare.
at its finest. Yeah, it's red tape, and because you have to think it's children's safety. So like you say you're going in there filming a horror movie, but how do they know you're not going in there planting a bunch of bombs and shit around the school to blow up a bunch of kids because somebody picked on your tiny wiener when you were in school?
That's fine. Actually, when I was in school, in the girls' bathroom, written on the wall, it just said Dalton Suter has a huge dick.
Nice.
And I used to tell people.
Did anybody catch you while you were sneaking in there to write that?
Yeah. What's up? Why don't you save me one this time? Thank you. Sorry about that. My mom peeked in. She's like, "Are you recording already?" I was like, "Yep." "Your dad made crepes and he wanted me to offer you one, but I guess you're too busy." And I was like, "Yeah, save me one," because the other night he made some. They didn't fucking save any.
You're gonna go. They're gonna have literally saved you one.
Yeah, there's one crepe. That's it.
Yeah, one crepe.
You get one crepe.
How about a tiny pancake? Oh, that is a pretty good compromise.
But I've been having this very like, so you've heard of like liminal spaces, right? And like the back rooms and all that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so like for those listening who might not know, the back rooms was this story that was started on, it was either 4chan or Reddit, and it's kind of been taken. There's been YouTube stuff made about it. It's where if you fall, you can like trip and fall, and if you do it in just the right way, you no clip through reality into the back rooms, right? And it's all liminal space. Like it all looks like shit you've been before. Jeremy, did you play Control?
No, I did not.
Oh, dude, it's such a gorgeous game. Like you would like it because it's really pretty.
Yeah. I don't know though, because it's just another thing that just the stuff I've watched of it. I'm not super into like this, all the supernatural and was it SCPs or whatever. I'm just not
X-Files
into that stuff. Yeah. So like I've never watched X-Files, just not into it.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I don't know if I would like it or not, but I may try it one
Jeremy
day.
from the friend list. Find way out of Yab's Pod show. All right. Sorry, I was just writing some notes.
So this will be our final episode.
What happened to the show? I'm so bad at whistling. But no, I've been having like this thing where like in my brain I can remember like the way my school was laid out and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I've seen it sometimes at night because we used to have to go do stuff up there at night from time to time. But I have these vivid memories of like schools that I don't know if I've ever been to or not. I don't know how to explain it. Like I know I've been to other schools at night for football games and stuff, or like church events and things like that back in the day when I used to go to church when I was a kid. And just these like big open classrooms that all looked the same with the same blue chairs with the walls and everything. It's like a liminal space in my brain.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about like somebody just like the movie just being like somebody just wakes up and they're in a classroom almost like they woke up after class was over, and then they're just alone in this ever expanding school campus. Like they can go outside and wander around the portables and stuff, but the portables will just keep fucking going. And they can go back in the buildings, and the hallways are just super long with classrooms, just an endless amount of them. And all of a sudden they realize that they're not alone there, but they can't quite figure out what's following them, and they don't know whether it's just paranoia or if there's actually something after them. Like, I don't know, this whole thing started to develop in my head, and I think it could be really cool. I just don't know how to execute it.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to get good at Blender and make it a 3D thing. I don't know. But
I know
it's just an idea.
I'll have a dream every so often that I'm the age I am now, but for some reason I'm back in high school. But like, I don't know my class schedule. I don't know where any of the classes are. It's like I'll be in a class and it'll be like time to go out of that class. I'm like, I don't know where I'm supposed to be going. I don't know what I'm doing. I just kind of like wander around the school. I'm sure that means something. I don't know. I don't study dreams, so.
Bro, you know how they say you can't die in your dreams?
Yeah.
I woke up in a dream the other night. I think I woke up right before I died in my dream. So I don't even remember what all was going on. So like there was a whole bunch of stuff. I'm really good about remembering my dreams immediately after they happen. Like if I wake up, I can write it all down.
Yeah.
But like me and my buddy Dustin were part of a band, and we played a show, and after the show we had like went and we showered off in this, like for some reason we were in this giant mall, and the shower was like you know when you like walk into like a, not Hot Topic, but like FYE, and they're like the windows.
Yeah. Like
the big open windows. They were like that, but they were mirrored, so you couldn't see inside from the outside, but from the inside you could see out. Yeah. But the outside you couldn't see in. And they were like showers, and that was like where we stayed. That was like our hotel room was like in this mall, in this place. And we ended up walking from there over to this like bar restaurant area, and we're sitting there and we're just like having a conversation with these other people. And all of a sudden this curtain opens and this black dude walks through, and he just like looks at me and he puts 2 fucking bullets in me. He shot me once in my like the lower left part of my throat, like my neck. Oh, yeah. And then he shot me in the chest, like the left chest. And I just remember, like, how do I describe the pain? It didn't feel like I assume a bullet wound would feel. Yeah. It felt like somebody was just like pushing really hard on that spot, like through me almost. Yeah. And I remember like grabbing my chest and like holding it and like falling over and like, what the fuck? And like trying to scream out for help, but not being able to verbalize it. And then I woke up and I was like, what the fuck? I sat up in my bed and just rubbed my face. Like, Jesus Christ, what was that? And I'm like feeling my neck, just making sure.
I had something similar. This was a long time ago. I worked in a mechanic shop. So I'm in the dream. I'm in the mechanic shop with my cousin, and we're kind of like over by a shelf with parts and shit on it, kind of fucking off. And so this mechanic shop, you have bays on both sides and keep all the doors open in the summer to keep, breeze and all. So like I'm talking to him, we're fucking around laughing, and I see like he looks behind me and like his eyes get really wide. I turn around and there's just some person, like I don't even think it was nondescript. It wasn't like a specific person or anything, but like a gun right in my face. And like as he pulls the trigger, like you said, I just woke up, like sat up in the bed. Like, so I think, yeah, if you die in your dream, it like your brain kind of coincides it with you waking up. Yeah.
It's almost like you don't know what, like it doesn't know what happens after that, so your brain has nothing else to do but wake you up.
Yep.
It's fucking wild.
Oh yeah.
And then so I was watching a video today from Wendigoon. Shout out Wendigoon on YouTube. I found him when he was just about to hit 100,000 subscribers, and now he's at like 1.7 million. So like,
nice.
Good for him, man. He's a cool dude. But he did a video about Paradise Lost, which I still have some left. Once we're done recording, I'm going to finish it. But, like Paradise Lost is the story of Satan and the fall and all of that.
Yeah.
It was written in the 1600s by John Milton, I think is his name. It seems like a very fascinating story. And something that I never really thought about was that the knowledge hidden in the fruit that they ate in the Garden of Eden, if you believe that story, was like the knowledge of hatred and the knowledge of jealousy, and it was like all of that shit, right? Like they lived ignorant of that up until that point. I just thought like of a really funny skit of like an Adam and Eve, and they're chilling there, and they get coerced into eating the fruit. And like before then, everything they've eaten has been delicious. Everything that they have, like, just everything's been wonderful, and they're so happy. And then just like have Adam and Eve just like bite the fruit and then just go, "Oh, what the fuck is this? Oh, this is awful. Oh, you know what? I don't know what hate is, but I hate this. I absolutely hate this."
Nice.
And just have them just start becoming the humans that we know who would just complain, like people at customer service. Oh my God.
Oh.
Yeah, brother. Let me tell you, I cannot stand a motherfucker who thinks that they're better than you just because you work customer service.
Yeah.
They're the worst types of people on the planet. I hope that they all get all of their tires popped on all of their vehicles and their knees. Let's fuck it, blow their knees out too. Why not? That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna incriminate anybody, but
yeah,
people fucking suck.
Everybody who works in retail has been down that road more than once.
Oh yeah, I know. Jeff right now is going, "Preach, brother, preach."
So, that being said, how's your week been?
Oh, my week has actually been pretty good, dude. I've been doing a lot of vocal covers. I haven't saved them all. There's been some that I've done, and I edit, and I like do all the stuff, and then I listen to it, and I'm like, "That's trash," and I just delete it, right? Which is why my voice is the way it is. So I apologize if I'm clearing my throat a lot again. I'm probably at the point where I'm going to give my voice a rest. So by the time we record next week, I should be all right. But other than that, like, work's been good. I've been learning a bunch of stuff. I've been told multiple times. So I work with a guy named Nick, and he's told me twice now. He's like, "Dalton, I just want you to know that I'm glad you're here, man. I appreciate you. You don't know how nice it is for somebody to get hired and say they have customer service experience. And then they come in and they prove that they have customer service experience. That's so nice." Because apparently people lie about that shit, which is what it is. And then I've had like shift leads telling me I'm doing good and everything. So, hey, as long as I'm keeping my people that are in charge of me happy and they think I'm doing good, I'm okay.
Dude, did I send you that video I saw this morning about the dude saying if I were on Undercover Boss?
You did, but I cannot look at my phone while I'm at work unless I'm on the toilet. So I didn't get a chance to watch it yet. I need to scroll back up and watch it though.
So basically, it's this guy. He does TikTok videos of how shitty supervisors are and stuff like that. And he's like, so his supervisor in his videos is named Steve, and so this guy's like, "Oh, Mark, what do you think about your supervisor?" He's like, "Oh, Steve, he's the dumbest motherfucker on the planet." He's like, "I would love to find the guy who hired him and just slap the shit out of him, and then find the CEO that hired that guy and slap the shit out of him. It'd be like a chain of command of slaps." And he's like, it like cuts forward to later, and he's like, "All right, so I want everybody to know my name's not actually whatever. It's such and such. I'm the CEO of the company." And Mark is like, "Well, fuck." And he's like, "Mark, you had some pretty horrible things to say about your supervisor, and I was gonna fire you, but that guy has to be the dumbest motherfucker I've ever met." And you see Mark's just like shaking his head like, "I fucking told you so." He's like, I really don't know how you work for that guy. He's like, "So I'll tell you what I'm going to do for you is every day that you have to come in and work on a Saturday, I'm going to let you punch Steve in the face." And Mark like starts crying. He's like, "You don't know how much this means to me." Oh, it's the funniest shit.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Dude, the chain of command thing made me think of that Bill Burr joke where he's like, "I went to the grocery store the other day and they had the self-checkouts. I thought I was a comedian. Apparently, I also work at a grocery store."
Yeah.
And he starts talking about, he's like, "I want to find the person." He goes, "I grabbed the lady working there and I just grabbed her around the neck and I was like, 'Where is he?' She's like, 'Oh, where's the guy who's making me do more shit?' And he's like, and I just started choking my way up the corporate ladder until you finally make your way to that CEO office where you open it up or you go into the office and they're having the eyes wide open. Everybody's got their eyes shut, getting blowjobs from random people in there. And you're just like, who is it? Oh, they know why you're there. They know why you're there."
Oh, man.
Dude, Bill Burr, one of my favorite people to like listen once he starts getting riled up.
Oh, yeah.
And he starts ranting. He does this bit where he starts talking about gold digging whores, right? and he's just going hard. And he looks at the crowd and he goes, "Why are you all so quiet?" He goes, "All of a sudden, I make fun of men. Oh, it's all laughs. I start talking about gold digging whores. Fucking silence." He straight calls the crowd out. And then, like, there's this epic video on YouTube. I don't remember where it was, but if you're like listeners, it's hilarious. Bill Burr versus the crowd. He went and did this show, and like the crowd turned on him early. And instead of leaving the stage, he sat out there and talked shit to the crowd for like 40 fucking minutes, just talking mad shit, just about their sports teams, just going the fuck off. And it was beautiful. Like, that dude doesn't give a fuck. He just says what he says, and that's I don't know. I love him. He's fucking hilarious. I don't know. I don't always agree with him.
Oh yeah,
but he's fucking hilarious.
Oh, I love Bill Burr. He says some questionable shit sometimes, but yeah, most of his stuff is funny. Yeah,
I've heard him say the same thing that my buddy Wes used to say. I say shit. Sometimes I just say shit. I don't mean it. I don't think about it before I say it. I just say shit.
I think it was Daniel Tosh that said something like, he's like, yeah, being a comedian, he's like, you're just trying to find that line. He's like, so you just keep saying more fucked up shit until you only have one person laugh at it, and you're like, okay, there's the line.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Tosh must have brought in Comedy Central a lot of money, because that motherfucker got away with murder as far as some of the jokes he would make on his show.
Oh yeah. I remember where he did a fucking, like, a Google Street View thing where it's just like him, like he had photoshopped himself all over the city. And like one is like, oh, here's me taking myself to Pound Town. It's just like two naked hymns, like one on its hands and knees and the other one behind it, just ramming it.
I remember one where he, like, they were having a meeting at work, a quote unquote meeting. Yeah. And they had this like dude come in who was, I think the dude got naked, and then Tosh got naked and laid down, and the guy gave him like this oil body massage, like weird massage while Tosh is naked. And I remember him looking at the camera and be like, this might be the weirdest thing I've ever done for this show. Oh my God. I love it, dude.
Oh yeah.
I absolutely love it. So I'm curious, man. Do you have like favorite cover songs? This is something that we have. So like, I like a lot of cover songs. So I was just curious if you have any to jump out to you.
I feel like we talked about this before, but we'll cover it again. The Last of Us Part 2 Covers and Rarities album has a cover of Take On Me done by the voice actor for Ellie. And it is just like, it's slow and melodic, and it's just such a fucking good song. I know I've listened to it like 150 times probably. So yeah, I'd probably say that's one of them. Korn did a cover of Word Up. That's pretty good. Yeah. And they did Another Brick in the Wall. That was pretty good too.
Yeah, both those songs were actually the opening songs on their Greatest Hits album. So I heard those a lot growing up.
Yep. Yeah, I had that album with the green cover.
Yeah, and it came with that DVD of them live at CBGB's, which was fucking such a good show.
Oh, yeah.
You can find that on YouTube nowadays, but back then, you had to go to that DVD, and it was just a fucking killer show. Because CBGB's is like, I don't know, maybe the size of my house, and my house is a pretty normal-sized house. Like, CBGB's is fucking small in New York. It's just a little club. And Korn just did an unannounced... They just announced it that day on the radio. Korn playing at CBGB's, first come, first serve. Like, no charge. What the fuck? I would have shit a brick to run down there. I'd have stood all day to get into that fucking show. So the reason I was thinking about covers this week is because something that has always fascinated me is the song Come On Feel the Noise.
Yeah.
By Quiet Riot. Right? Everybody knows that song.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that's a cover?
It doesn't surprise me.
That is a cover of a band called Slade. And there's a funny story. So the original one is like, come on, feel the noise. Girls, rock your boys. Let's get wild, wild, wild. You know, whatever. And the record company told Quiet Riot to do that song on their album. And Quiet Riot was like, no, we don't want to do it. And they were like, no, you have to do it. So they went in and just did like their absolute phoned it in.
Oh, yeah.
And it became their biggest hit.
Nice.
Just tremendous. So I was just thinking of like other songs that are covers that you might not realize.
One I might get flack for. Pretty sure it's "Dream On" by Aerosmith. That was, I'm thinking, originally in a Beatles song. Is that the one I'm thinking of, or is it a different Aerosmith song?
No.
Is it "Sweet Child of Mine"?
No. Aerosmith did "Come Together."
Come Together, yeah. That's the one I'm thinking
song.
of. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Here come old flat top.
Yep. I like that song.
You know who else covered that?
Who?
Michael Jackson.
Nice.
And he actually didn't do a bad job.
Nice.
So I found a list of some songs that are covers that you might not realize are covers. And so like this is where my brain led me to this. So Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Yeah, I knew that one.
Before Cyndi Lauper dropped this anthem for all women, new wave musician Robert Hazard, a hot name in Philadelphia club scene during the 80s, recorded the song's demo.
Good old new wave.
So, I love new wave so much. Oh my God. Blinded by the Light. So everybody knows Manfred Mann's Earth Band version. Yeah. Revved up like a douche, another runner in the night. Yeah. That is originally a Bruce Springsteen song.
Nice.
Red Red Wine is a cover.
Yeah, I knew that one, yeah.
See, I didn't realize that song was by Neil Diamond.
I didn't remember that part. I knew UB40, it was a cover that UB40 did, but I remember singing that song so much when I was like a teenager. It's a catchy tune.
Oh, dude, yeah. Also that and pass the Dutch up on the left-hand side. Yep. So Bow Wow Wow had children screaming for sugary treats in the 80s, and Aaron Carter kept the chant going in 2000. But I Want Candy was a Bo Diddley beat track, first saw success when the Strange Loves released it in 1965.
Wow.
I need to hear the 1965 version of I Want Candy.
I prefer the MCP Pants version of I Want Candy.
I Want Candy! I Love Rock and Roll was a cover.
Yeah.
By Joan Jett covered a band called The Arrows. Now here's one that I didn't know. Mambo Number 5. Lou Bega's career can be summed up by Mambo Number 5, but before Monica, Erica, Rita, Tina, Sandra, Mary, and Jessica, he needed a little bit of Cuban band leader Perez Prado, whose 1949 composition provided the skeleton for Bega. So like the song itself...
Yeah. The actual music.
Yeah, the music was written in 1949.
Nice.
Tainted Love. I did know that one.
Tainted Love's been covered a whole lot.
Yeah. The original cover was the 80s band Soft Cell. The original song came out 20 years earlier via Gloria Jones and writer Ed Cobb.
Yeah.
And I only know that because there was like some movie or show that I was watching that had the original version in it.
The Manson versions are really good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And his version of Sweet Dreams. Tremendous.
Yeah, Sweet Dreams. And he has a version of Personal Jesus that's really good. Which that song's been covered to hell and back.
Your own personal Jesus.
I know Johnny Cash did a version. Manson did a version.
Hound Dog. Before Elvis Presley got his paws on Hound Dog, Big Mama Thornton was cleverly calling out, quote, motherfuckers back in 1952. Nice. I love the fucking article quoted motherfuckers. Tremendous. Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You was originally a Dolly Parton song.
Yep.
I didn't fucking know that.
Yep. I've heard that one before.
That's wild. The Fugees' Killing Me Softly was originally Roberta Flack.
Yep. I love that Fugees song though.
Oh, you were talking about the Beatles. Twist and Shout. Between the Isley Brothers, the Beatles, and the Who, it feels like almost every major musical group has taken a stab at Twist and Shout, but it all began with an R&B collective called the Top Notes.
Nice.
Oh, my fucking Uncle Cracker's on here. I forgot about that motherfucker's existence. The song Drift Away.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. Isn't that song?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Dude, while we're on the topic of music, so you know Midnight Rider by the Allman Brothers.
I've probably heard it.
You'll never catch the Midnight Rider. So there was a version of that song in, I want to say it was in the Devil's Rejects. I've never been able to find that particular version, but it was a lot like lower and slower. And it just, it was such a good version of the song. I need to like...
Maybe Rob Zombie just chopped and screwed it.
Possibly so. I know that happens. I know a lot of covers get used for movie trailers and stuff. They don't usually actually make the movie, but it kind of ties the trailer together nicely.
Yeah.
And they're usually really good versions. I wish they'd release a lot of that stuff.
It's like a rug that really ties the room together.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
They peed on your fucking rug, dude.
Yeah.
They did. They peed on my fucking rug. You know, that rug really tied the room together. You know what did tie the room together? God. I love The Big Lebowski so much. That movie's so fucking good.
See, I think it's overrated.
I think we've had this conversation.
Yeah.
But like, man, like just that fucking... It's got one of the most solid jokes ever when that dude picks up the bowling ball and goes, "The fuck is this?" And he just goes, "Obviously, you're not a golfer." And like, I don't know, just the pure just sarcasm that is dripping from that statement. It's just fucking hysterical in the moment. But I don't know. You're also not a stoner, and I think that's a stoner movie, in my opinion.
Well, my thing with it was I didn't see it until much, much later in life. And it had been hyped up so much that it didn't live up to the hype.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll do it. That's okay. Yeah. No, that I can understand completely.
Yeah, I think people maybe ruined that movie for me because I love John Goodman. Like, he's one of my favorite actors. Squeaky Chairs making an appearance. My $5 thrift store office chair. Oh yeah, John Goodman's amazing. But like, I don't know. I watched the movie and it just didn't live up to the hype.
I don't know. Just even Steve Buscemi in that movie. Just the little character that he plays. Shut the fuck up, Donnie. Like, that shit just cracks me up. But no, I've absolutely been on the wrong end of that, where somebody hypes something up to you so much and then you see it and you're like, yeah.
Yep. I always worry when I hype some shit up that I really like to somebody that they're gonna watch it or play the game or listen to the music or whatever and be like, and I'll be like, no, scratch them off the list. That's
why I am always like, when I start talking about Persona 5 to Nate and Willie about the show, I always preface it with, but this is just how I feel. Like, y'all might hate it. Like, and that's okay.
I know you said Persona 5 and I came in my pants, but that's just my opinion of it. You might not feel the same way.
You might, but like from everything that I know about those guys, I really think that they'll dig it because it's just like Pokemon, but for adults.
Yeah.
And it's just fucking good. But again, to each their own. I don't want to hype it up super. So, yeah, I don't want to keep ranting on about covers. It was just amazing to me that like so many of these songs that you hear over the years and you just don't realize that they're covers of songs that were popular 20, 30 years before that.
Oh yeah.
So, or then you've got things like Jimi Hendrix. Like, I think it was All Along the Watchtower. I think Bob Dylan released that song and Jimi Hendrix really liked it and then covered it like a month later after it came out. You know,
and is now the more popular version.
Oh yeah.
So
Bob Dylan's underrated, but that's just...
So I wanted to talk about, for those who didn't listen, I was a guest host on the Steam Machine podcast last week. Definitely go check that out. But yeah, that show was a lot of fun to do, I would say. It was nice to have like one topic to focus on the whole time. Because you know how we like to ramble. So we could just ramble about this one topic.
Yeah, dude, it was fun. It was fun having you on, man.
And I also finally beat Judgment this week. So
yeah,
that game is so fucking good.
Yeah, you said it had a cum shot joke or something.
Yeah, it's so you play Yagami. Your partner in the PI firm is Kaito. So it's like you two and a couple other people. Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but you're in the end game, and there's a few sections like this through the game where it's like there's a bunch of enemies here. You beat all of them up, and then there's a marker like right down the street. You got to run to that marker, and then a bunch more guys come. You got to beat all them up, run to the next marker, right? You know, I think Yakuza 0 did that as well.
Yeah.
So you're doing that after you get the notifications like, hey, this is the final section of the game. So we're running through, and like you run up to a 3-way intersection, like 3 vans come and like slide in and block the roads, and a bunch of guys get out. And Kaido's like, man, these guys just keep coming on us. And like everybody stops and looks at him. He's like, fuck, I meant to say coming at us. And the one guy was like, that's gross. And I was like, yes, fucking cum joke in the game. Like, yes, this game is now an 11.
That's tremendous.
And I know you guys talked about a lot on the Yakuza 0, the weird guy dancing in his underwear that was basically just a pervert that wanted you to like tell him where to pick up chicks. Or no, he wanted to know about the best prostitutes in town.
Yeah, he liked the hooker cards.
Yeah. And so I didn't see that guy in this game. Makes sense because this game takes place, what was that, like 80 something?
Yakuza was in the 80s, yeah.
So this game's in 2018, so like 30 plus years later, that dude's probably
dead. Cause
maybe pinching asses in a retirement home somewhere, maybe. I'm going to be optimistic he's still alive, fucking like sneaking Viagra in the nursing home. But you go into this kind of dilapidated building. I don't want to give away plot structure to it, but you go in this dilapidated, and it's like almost like a survival horror feel to it. It's really creepy. You have to like get a light and like walk around with a flashlight. You keep seeing this dude pop up, and he's wearing a gimp mask. He's wearing like a fucking pro wrestling onesie, like a unitard with the ass cut out of it. And like he ends up jumping out of the ceiling, and he's a mini boss. And I'm like, man, this is so fucking good. You're just sitting here fighting a fucking dude in a gimp hood with an eyeball ball gag in his mouth and assless unitard on, and just beating he beats the shit out of you too. Like he's a tough boss. But man, I was like, yeah, this game is so fucking, it has something for everybody in it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish it was coming to PC, but unfortunately.
Yeah, apparently, I want to say the story I read was one of the voice actors had like a falling out with the studio, and I'm like, dude, fuck him, replace his ass for the PC version then, like, who cares?
Yeah, it's not like the PC players would know the difference.
No, y'all are just gonna fucking mod Homer Simpson into the shit anyway, so.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, it's fucking good.
Speaking of Homer Simpson mods, I remember, like, in the beginning of Elden Ring, there's, like, this big knighted, like, shielded knight guy on a horse riding around.
Yeah.
And I remember somebody modded their Elden Ring character to look like Homer Simpson. And they were running around with this, their shield looked like a big donut. But, like, that dude on the horse, it was Shrek on donkey.
Oh, nice. I think I saw that video.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, people were so good at modding. What the fuck?
Yeah. Speaking of Homer and big ass donuts, have you ever been to one of the, like the Simpsons experience things?
No, but I've been to the Simpsons area in Universal.
So it may be the same there. In Myrtle Beach, they have on the boardwalk, they have a Quickie Mart set up. You can go in, you can buy like Simpsons, memorabilia, hats, t-shirts, whatever. They've got a 4D theater with like the 4D Simpsons little mini movies. And they've got big like life-size statues of characters and stuff. But in the store, you can buy that big ass like pink frosted donut with the sprinkles. That thing is so fucking delicious, man. That's what we took Jonathan one year to Myrtle Beach for his birthday, and that's what he wanted instead of a cake, is he wanted one of those big ass donuts. So I was like, hell fucking yeah, we'll do that. Man, they're so good. I want to go back just so I can eat one of those donuts. Oh, my buddy's down there. I gotta text him and be like, hey, go get me one.
I love donuts so much. Like, I would take a fresh donut over damn near anything.
Yeah.
If somebody was like, you can have sex right now, or you can have this fresh out of the oven dozen glazed, I'd be like, I could fuck another time.
Yeah. I will save one of the donuts to stick my dick in while I'm eating the rest of them.
God, what is up with my throat?
You sucking too much dick.
All the dick, you know me, just loads. So man, have you ever been to a concert that just fucking wowed you?
My first concert ever, I was like 14, I think. 13, 14. My first like official like known band concert was Bare Naked Ladies. My aunt was a huge fan of theirs, and one of her friends backed out or something, so she had an extra ticket and she offered to take me. And they would, back in the day when they were still all together, I think one of the dudes that did the singing left the group. They would just like ad-lib songs for whatever city they were in, and that shit just impressed the hell out of me that they were able to do that.
Hell yeah, I love the Bare Naked Ladies. It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
They're fucking good ass band. One of the songs I love, even though I don't drink, is Alcohol. It's like, I love you more than I did the week before. I discovered alcohol.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Oh, that one's good.
The best concert I've ever been to, bar none, was Rammstein. And I think I was talking to Nate about this recently. I was telling him, like, Rammstein live is just a whole other fucking experience, man. Like, they started, like, the show started off, there was a DJ playing, and they was remixing Rammstein songs. And he got the crowd chanting Rammstein, and all of a sudden, all the lights kicked off.
Nice.
And this fucking, above the, like, 20 feet above the crowd, this long ass walkway just starts going and shooting steam out of it and fire coming off of it, and it just starts lowering down. Well, then like 10 feet away from me, coming down the stairs of the stadium, is this fucking dude in a monk, they're like Jedi robes almost, holding a torch. And I realized that it's the bass player from Rammstein, because all the rest of the band are walking single file behind him, militaristic style.
Nice.
And they come walking down, they make their way all the way over to this platform that raises up to the walkway. And they go across the walkway, and then there was like another platform thing that led them down to the stage. And they started playing, and just the concussive boom that went off when they dropped into that first real heavy into the song Sunna, was just absolutely epic. And then they played like Engel, and he came out wearing like these fucking 12-foot 15-foot wingspan wings that shoot fire out of the tips of them. And they did the song Rammstein, where he comes out and his fucking jacket comes on, like, just lights on fire while he's wearing it.
Nice.
They played Firefly, which if you've seen Triple X, that shit they do in that movie where they're wearing those masks that shoot fire. Yeah. They really wear those things.
Nice.
And it's probably all of this far away from their face. So, like, you got, I don't know, 6 inches between you and a 12-foot flame coming out of this fucking thing.
Sweet.
I can't imagine how hot it is. I watched Till just stand under a shower of sparks. I'm just like, God, those guys have more balls than I do. And the story I've told where he got on the big dick cannon that fired warm white foam over everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Like their stage show is tremendous. If anyone listening ever has the chance to see Rammstein, it can be a little pricey. It's absolutely worth it, because you will never see anything like it ever again, bar none.
Yeah, so that's how I feel about Marilyn Manson shows. I know he's kind of like a piece of shit human being now, but like his shows are fucking epic.
I've seen him twice. Once he was really good, and once I swear he kept running off the stage and taking hits of oxygen from an oxygen tank because he was like having a tough time.
I've seen him twice. I saw him in an outdoor amphitheater where he's like on the fucking stilts, all that shit. And then I saw him at the House of Blues in Myrtle Beach, and that show was fucking epic.
Oh yeah, I bet. Manson in the House of Blues would be awesome. Dude, that's where I saw Children of Bodom at the House of Blues, and it was just fucking...
Oh yeah, when you get an act like that in a small venue like that, man, it's good.
Fuck yeah, especially because Devin Townsend was there too, and that was just fucking killer. And then me and my buddy, I've told the story about us going, and we went and saw Ghost at the same place, and it was so good. So let's go ahead and rip this next Band-Aid off. I'll just let you go ahead and do it.
All right. So We had a little discussion come up in Discord yesterday, and
I believe so.
Dalton and I took opposing views on it, and I thought it'd be fun to further elaborate on the podcast. Then I found out my friend Christina disagrees with me, like, feverishly about this, so that just made it more fun to talk about. Is Jared Leto a good actor, or is he not? I will say that. So, what's your opinion, Dalton?
I have never seen him give an Oscar-worthy performance, but I've never seen a movie be worse because he's in it. Does that make sense?
I'm going to disagree with the worst part, but I'm not going to entirely put it on him, because I think his role in Suicide Squad was absolute fucking garbage. But I feel like not 100% his fault. I think the writers really fucked that movie hard. Like, I don't know where they found those writers, but they should be loaded into a cannon and shot into the ocean.
Yeah. Because I think he had the capability of doing a good Joker, like, as far as the expression and the...
Possibly.
But the way that they gave him, like, the tattoo over the eye and the silver teeth and stuff, it just didn't fit.
And, like, his laugh wasn't right. He couldn't get the laugh right. But... like I said, I don't entirely blame him. I think that movie was more well written. He probably could have pulled off a serviceable Joker.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm not saying he's going to go out there and be the next Nicholson.
Yeah,
but you know, he's just.
But like my thing and what I was saying in Discord last night, which I think you said Fenris brought up that he was good. If you like him, you like him. I'm not giving you crap about it. Everybody likes stuff different. My opinion on Jared Leto, the actor, is he is a serviceable, pretty white boy. Like you said, he's never really shit the bed in anything, but he's also never wowed me either. Like, I've never seen a movie that he was in that you couldn't have replaced him with someone else and it'd have been just as good of a movie.
Hold on. There was one movie. Oh, fuck, dude. People were screaming it at me. It's him and like one of the Wayans brothers is in it. It's about drug addicts.
I don't know if I saw that one.
Oh my god. What the fuck movie am I thinking? Okay, continue with your thought process. I'm going to look this up real quick.
Yeah, I'm going to goggle it real quick.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're pulling it up, dude, it's just... Requiem for a Dream.
Oh, yeah. Didn't Nate say in the Discord that he sucked in that too?
Yeah, Nate probably did say that, but like I thought he was good in Requiem for a Dream.
I haven't seen Requiem for a Dream. Shocker.
Dude,
I've just never found the time to watch it. I will give him two things that he did that, while I can name actors who would have done just as good of a job, I think he did good. One is Dallas Buyers Club. He plays like a transgender AIDS patient. He did a pretty good job, but I feel like Willem Dafoe could have been placed in that role and probably done better. Like Willem Dafoe as a transgender AIDS patient, like couldn't you see that? I think he'd fucking kill it.
I suppose.
Well, he's done a movie where he fucking cross-dressed. Was it Boondock Saints?
Dude, it's been over 10 years since I've seen Boondock Saints. So
I think it was Boondock Saints where he fucking did a cross-dressing. And The Little Things, which is a fairly new movie with Denzel Washington and I think it's Jake Gyllenhaal. But they're looking for a serial killer, and he's the guy that they think is the serial killer, and he's just like dragging them along, and he does a really good job of that. But I feel like that role could have been played by the fuck is his name? The dude that played the neighbor in American Beauty.
Oh, fuck.
What's his name? He was in Hunger Games. I know somebody's shouting it at their telephone right now.
You talking about the young one? The guy that filmed the bag?
The neighbor kid that became friends with Kevin Spacey.
I don't remember his name, but that dude's a good fucking actor too.
Wes Bentley. I think he could have pulled that off. And I don't think he was famous enough to get that role at that time. I think Paul Dano would have killed in that role, because Paul Dano's kind of creepy looking, and he played the Riddler in the new the Batman he would have fucking killed in that role. So that's what I say. Is like, I don't think Leto is a bad actor at all. I just think he's serviceable. You know, he's pretty white boy number 784. Just plug him in where you need a pretty white boy and he works. Lord of War, he was good in that, but Giovanni Ribisi would have been good in that too. I still say they should have fucking put Willem Dafoe in as the Joker in Suicide Squad if it was up to me. But
I mean, I liked watching him get his ass beat in Fight Club.
Yeah.
That's a good scene. And he's
yeah. That movie is probably top 10 all time for me. Fight Club. I think that would be a top 10. That is, I don't think I can name any cons to that movie. Like, I don't think I have anything bad to say about that movie. It's just the writing is
I don't know.
Fucking phenomenal. What's her name? Helena Bonham Carter kills it. Edward Norton kills it. Brad Pitt kills it. Meatloaf, one of the most lovable characters you'll ever meet. Fucking Bob Bitch Tits.
This is Bob. Bob has bitch tits.
Yeah. Wasn't it like he had fucking some kind of cancer or something and the treatment made him grow tits?
It was either that or he had that disorder that, like, I knew a guy who had where he just, like,
gynecomastia.
Just starts producing.
But not, I want to say his was like he had cancer or something and the treatment made him grow tits. Some kind of treatment he had to take made him grow tits.
Might have been like a hormone treatment type thing.
Maybe. But yeah, like he's...
estrogen, I guess.
I have nothing bad I can say about that movie. I'm trying to think of like anything negative I could critique that movie for. I just fucking can't.
Helena Bonham Carter is another one of those people that, like, she's always good in everything I see her in.
Oh, yeah.
She killed it. She was Beatrix Lestrange.
See, I haven't watched Harry Potter, but yeah, I've heard she's pretty good.
Fantastic. She was fantastic. She was fantastic in Sweeney Todd.
Well, you know she's Tim Burton's wife.
I was going to say, anything Tim Burton does and she's in it, she's good in.
Yeah, which that's his wife, so he puts her in every fucking... Dude, I'm not a huge Alice in Wonderland fan, but I fucking love the Tim Burton live-action Alice in Wonderland. It's great, and she kills it as the Red Queen.
The Queen?
Like, she's so good at that part.
Yeah. I never saw, what was it, Alice Through the Looking Glass?
I never saw that one. I never saw the fucking James Franco movie, Oz or whatever, or it was like the story of Oz, or no, I'm thinking of Wizard of Oz.
Oz the Great and Powerful.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking of Wizard of Oz, but yeah, Alice in Wonderland, I'm not a huge fan of, but yeah, like that live action movie was amazing. You had Alan Rickman as Cheshire Cat, or not as Absalom, who did not have a name in the book.
Who are you?
That's another one, man. R.I.P. Alan Rickman. He was great at everything he did.
He was the Metatron. He was the voice of God.
Yeah.
He's the man. And he was Snape, goddammit. And you don't watch the Harry Potter movies, but yeah. But he was another actor.
What's his best role ever?
Oh, his role in Dogma. I mean, that's my opinion.
No. What's his best role ever?
Snape.
No. It's a Christmas movie.
Oh, dude, Hans.
Yes, Hans Gruber.
See, I've never even seen Die Hard, so I don't know.
Oh, you haven't seen Die Hard? Scratch Dalton off friends list? Cancel Yab's Pod? It's been fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We're ending it now.
I don't know. Like, it takes a certain mood I have to be in to be able to, like, watch action movies, and that's just not one that's come up yet. I do love RoboCop, and I love Terminator. So I'm sure I'd really fucking like Die Hard. Yeah. I've just never sat down to watch it.
I assume you've watched the original Predator.
Yeah, it's been forever, but yeah, I like the original Alien too. Way back in the day.
This year around Christmas time, because it's a Christmas movie, I will argue that to my fucking death. Watch Die Hard.
Okay, just remind me.
Smoke a joint, sit down, watch Die Hard. The movie is fucking great. Carl Winslow's in it. He's a cop who killed a kid.
Too old for this shit. No, that's Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, that's Danny Glover.
Danny Glover.
Yeah. No, Carl Winslow's in it. Cop who killed a kid. You got fucking Alan Rickman as Hans Gruber. Of course, Bruce Willis is in it. Some of the best fucking lines come out from it. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Is Carl Winslow the dude from Family Matters?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. That was his character in Family Matters. I forget his name.
It's like, I really like that guy.
Yeah. He was, what was his name? Reginald Val Johnson. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. I fucking love him. He was in, I want to say he was in like an episode of Workaholics as himself. Like, dude, he seems like a really cool guy. If I ever become a director before he dies, I'm going to put him in my movie.
Hell yeah. Ask me about any movie.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
Great.
But yeah, man, that guy's awesome. And I was just remind me around Christmas and I will absolutely watch Die Hard.
Maybe we can do a watch along for Die Hard. That'd be cool.
Yeah, man. Maybe like as we get nearer to Christmas, we'll do it in the Discord or something.
Oh, yeah. Dude, like, Die Hard is one of the best 80s action movies.
And since like most of the people in the Discord listen to this, I would like to set up at some point during October, like one of the days that I'm off, like during the night or whatever, if anybody's around, do like a horror movie or two in the Discord. I think it'll let everybody pop in there that wants to. I don't know if there's a limit to how many people can be in one channel, but
I don't know. I am thinking about, I thought about it today. I'm going by GameStop tomorrow. If I can get a cheap copy of Lost Judgment for Series X, I may pick that up and eventually stream it on my Twitch. I think that'd be kind of cool. Because, like, it's going to be hard for everybody to watch live, but you can go back and replay the Twitch streams at least. So. Yeah,
the VODs.
Oh, yeah.
VODs nuts.
That way, like, you guys who don't play on console can at least experience the story part of it. I thought about going back and doing it for Judgment, but that's a fucking long game. I don't know if I want to play through it again so soon.
I'm sure I could find a Let's Play of it somewhere on YouTube.
Judgment, like I said, I feel like Judgment, you'd be better playing it yourself if you ever get a chance. Like, because the story, like the twists and turns in the story just are so good.
I could find it. No, well, yeah, it came out on PlayStation, right? Yeah,
it's on PS4, PS5, and Series X. For some reason, it's not on Xbox One. I have no idea why, but...
That's interesting. I'll check it out eventually. Maybe I'll get it when I get a PS5 eventually.
You know what? I think I know why. I think Judgment... I think it originally came out as a PS4 title. It got a PS5 and Series X remaster. But I want to say maybe it was a PS4 exclusive when it came out.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right to me, honestly. Because I feel like for a while, the Yakuza games were only on PlayStation. Yeah,
it says a spin-off to the Yakuza series. It was released for the PlayStation 4 in December 2018 in Japan and June 2019 worldwide. So it says it's on PS4, PS5, Series X, Google Stadia, and Amazon Luna. So Mike can play it. At least it's on Google Stadia. But
Amazon Luna.
Yeah, that's Amazon's like streaming video game thing.
That's right. Yeah, they offer me free games on it all the time, and I'm like, I don't even know how to access these.
Yeah, I want to say you play them on your TV. It's like a smart TV app you can download, and I've only heard bad about trying to stream big complex games like that, so I don't think that would be the way to play it.
Well, with the PlayStation Plus thing that I can play them on PC, I was playing some Ghosts of Tsushima and it was running pretty fucking good.
Oh, nice.
But I also have hardwired, I'm not on Wi-Fi, so that's what I recommend is if you're going to try to do something like that, you definitely want to hardwire yourself.
Oh, I just happened to click on an article unraveling the mystery behind Lost Judgment's struggle to launch on PC. Recently, there's been speculation that Lost Judgment will be the last game in the series due to a disagreement between Sega and Johnny and Associates, the talent agency behind Takayuki Yagami's actor Takuya Kimura. The fallout stems from Johnny and Associates not wanting the Judgment game to launch on PC as it conflicts with its particularly strict likeness policy. Essentially, the company doesn't want Kimura's face to be so readily accessible on the internet, which is fucking stupid. Like, I guess he's the actual model actor for the role. So, he's the guy they 3D scanned and shit. And they don't want him to be in a PC game because modders will take his likeness and put him in Elden Ring and shit. Like, you realize modders will do this shit regardless, right? Like, your game doesn't have to be on PC. They'll go fucking rip an Xbox or PlayStation copy, pull the assets off, and do whatever the fuck they want to do with them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like there's no Simpsons Elden Ring game, and there's fucking Homer Simpson in Elden Ring.
There's no official vocals in Trails in the Sky, but somebody took the fucking Vita version that only came out in Japan and ripped the vocals out, created a patch to make them work with the PC version. If you use that patch, then your PC version then has voiceover. Yeah. That was only included on a Japanese release in fucking Japan for the Vita. Okay, that's the Vita. And you're talking about a fucking Xbox and PlayStation 4 or 5 game? Come on, man. Yeah. Like, get fucked with that. Not you, them. You know what I'm saying? But my God, what a stupid fucking reason. That's like, I went on a rant this week on the JRPG report, and I actually gave a damn. I said a damn and I said a shit. And I apologized profusely for it, but I felt they were needed in the context because NIS America, because I know your ass doesn't listen to the JRPG report.
Nah, not enough cursing for me. Maybe I'll listen to this episode. It's got some cursing in
it. The NIS America, who does like Disgaea, the Legend of Heroes games and stuff like that, they sent out a cease and desist to this group of people who basically what they did is they took the Trails games and translated the ones that haven't been released over here yet, right? So if people were playing the Japanese versions, they could reference these charts that they had made and be able to read the game, basically. Like, judging, I don't know how exactly it worked, but, and NIS America just sent them a cease and desist, and they were like, they emailed them back, and they were trying to see, like, could they work with them to come in a meet in the middle somewhere, and NIS America was like, no. And that wouldn't really bug me, except Kiro no Kiseki. So we've gotten the Trails in the Sky series 1 through 3, and then there was the Trails of Cold Steel games, which was 1 through 4 on PlayStation 4 or whatever. There's a whole series after that that's Kiro no Kiseki that hasn't been translated over here yet. They're getting Kiro no Kiseki 2. We haven't even gotten the first one. They are translating Trails from Zero for us, but not Trails of Azure. But both those games are already done, so like they could just translated both of them and released them over. They take their sweet ass time releasing stuff over here.
Well, to play devil's advocate, I don't know if this is actually why. Apparently, a lot more goes into localizing games than a lot of people think. So it's actually a really long, drawn out, expensive process. Maybe that's why. Probably not, but I don't know.
No, I know, and I do get that, but like Trails from Zero and Trails of Azure, they've been out for like 10 years. And they're just now getting translated to come over here.
Maybe they're just like, fuck are you American?
Fuck are you whale? And the fuck are you dolphin?
Fuck are you cow? Fuck are you chicken? Yeah, I hate that when popular games don't get released worldwide.
And there's so many games that come out in Japan that I'm like, man, that looks really cool. But that's too Japanese to get released over here. Even though we would enjoy it, there's a sector of us that we would enjoy. Japan, like the people in Japan are like, no, this is too Japanese for America.
Yeah. I mean, look at the Mother series. We got one game here, and there's, I'm going to say hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that absolutely adore that game, but they refuse to translate the other games.
Yeah, well, I think we got Mother 1 on Game Boy or something eventually. I could be wrong. So, yeah. But Mother 3. Mother 3.
Mother 3 is,
you have to play a fan translated ROM of it.
Yeah. My thing is like, imagine if they did like, they did the NES and Super Nintendo minis. And I think the NES one had, I can't remember if the NES one had a unreleased game or not. I know like the Genesis had untranslated games, like Shining Force 4 or something, like one of the RPGs. They put a official English translated version of it on the Genesis Mini, and then the SNES had Star Fox 2, which never got released. Imagine if they did like a Game Boy Mini and did like official English translation of Mother 3 on it.
They don't need a smaller Game Boy though. Like if they could do like a Game Boy and make it a console that you can play on your TV, and it just makes it look like a big Game Boy, and that way your screen is only about yay big.
I mean, Hyperkin makes one of those. The Hyperkin,
but that's
SQ.
not official. And
True.
Listen, I'm all about that. Like I would totally just use that instead of whatever the fuck Nintendo put out.
I mean, just put out a fucking like Game Boy Color sized DMG. I say put the motherfucker out with a cartridge slot where you can actually play your Game Boy games on it too. Have a nice like LED screen, like a really nice LCD screen in it.
I don't disagree with that a bit, but calling it a mini, I immediately pictured like a Game Boy, but smaller.
They're not going to call it a mini. They're going to call it a classic. You know, just do that. Yeah. They'll never put a cartridge slot on it. That's never going to happen. But I mean, like, put one out. Put a fucking unreleased English translation of Mother 3 on it. You'll sell 6 million of them. Like, it's literally a license to print money.
And then, like, use the same shit that you used on the SNES Mini so I can hack it with Hackchi and put whatever the fuck I want on there.
Oh, yeah. Like, I never messed with my Super Nintendo one. I hacked my NES one. You can put Game Boy ROMs on it, but you have to put a Game Boy emulator on it, too, and I can never figure out that part. So I just put a bunch of NES games on. My Genesis one, I put a bunch of games on.
Yeah, my SNES one, I just loaded it up with whatever Super Nintendo game I wanted.
Pretty much. I just went through the list.
Did I put some Pokemon games on there? I don't remember. I don't think so. I don't think I went that far. I think I just stuck with the Super Nintendo stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Listener Brian hit me up the other day, and he was like, "Oh, let me read this verbatim. Hey, man, my neighbor was cleaning out her garage last weekend, and she gave me a PSP. It's in fair condition, but she doesn't have a charge cable for it." I was like, "Oh, man, dude, that's rad. I'm sure you can find a cheap cable online." He goes, "I already have my old one and my Vita. I thought you might want it. It's missing the little nub for the analog stick, though."
Nice.
And I was like, what? Seriously? Dude, I've always wanted a PSP and a Vita.
Nice.
But, so getting a PSP for free, because I was like, how much do you want for it? He's like, "Oh, dude, I got it for free. I can't charge you money for it. I'd feel bad." So I was like, "Oh, well, fuck yeah." So like, I'm sure I could replace that nub and get
you can do that. You can get like custom replacement shells and stuff for it, just all in how far you want to go with it. You probably want to order a new battery for it, because if the battery in it is not dead, it's probably swollen. Replace the battery, replace the charging cable, and you can buy a new stick for it. You can buy a new shell. You can make those things cool as hell.
Yes, I'm going to make it an emulation machine, because I like that my 3DS, like I can emulate stuff on the 3DS, but the PSP is a bit stronger and the screen's bigger.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you see these thick motherfuckers I'm wearing right here, but
I'm blind as fuck.
Bigger screens.
Speaking of, I sent you that, and I meant to talk about it on the show when I did it, and I forgot. You can actually show people how blind you are with your phone. Like, remember I showed you the screenshots. So basically, you take your phone, you set it to record a video, you put your glasses over the camera on your phone, like right up against the phone. The camera will focus through your glasses, looking at whatever object you're showing it at. Then you move the glasses, it will be the same quality your vision is for a split second, and then it'll refocus again. So what you do is you record that video, then you go back, you play the video, you pause it, and you skip frame by frame. You can screenshot with your glasses on it, and then screenshot that frame once you take the glasses away, and it's pretty fucking spot on from my experience with it. So like, that's a really, because my kid's 7, he was asking me one time, he was like, "Can you see it all without your glasses on?" I was like, "I can," but like, he thought when I took my glasses off, I was blind. I couldn't see anything. So he's like standing at the other end of our like 15-foot wide bedroom. It's like, "Can you see me?" I'm like, "Yes, I can see you, but it's blurry." So like, now I can actually show him on my phone, like, "Look, this is what I see when I take my glasses off." I thought that was really cool.
That is cool. I wonder who the fuck thought of that.
Who knows?
It's fucking wild. Speaking of things that are wild, man, just the other thing that I had on the mind before we get to the songs of the week and the questions. So, it baffles me that there are people out there that think that we're the only living like things in the entirety of space.
Yeah.
Because that is just so astronomically stupid. No pun intended. You think about how big, like, the universe is massive and it's ever expanding.
Oh, yeah. So, my thought process on this, I'm very much a burning bush person. Like, I have to see it to believe it. But I don't think there's little green men out there somewhere.
No.
But I think it's incredibly self-centered to think that, like you said, with 100 billion planets in the galaxy
or more,
that we're the only, like, this is the only one that has any kind of life on it at all.
Or sentience.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be other sentient species, and they probably just haven't traveled this far.
Yep.
If they've even discovered space travel.
Yeah. Because that's the thing, is we always assume, like, oh, aliens are going to come to Earth. We're aliens to them. We can't get to them. So who says they can get to us?
Yeah.
Because you got to think, like the nearest star is what would take you, like, I can't remember. I knew this at one point.
A long time.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to, like, say something stupid. You know, I do that enough already. Let's see. 4.246 light years away. The closest star, Proxima Centauri, is 4.24 light years away. A light year is 9.44 trillion kilometers, or 5.88 trillion miles. This is an incredibly large distance. Thanks, Google. I wouldn't have known that otherwise.
Dude.
It says walking to Proxima Centauri would take 950 million years. So you got to think, even in a rocket ship, you're talking millions of years. So will we ever be visited by aliens? I doubt it. But to think we're the only sentient or living creatures in an ever-expanding void, I think that's extremely self-centered.
Yeah, and yeah, me too, man. Like, just who's to say that, yeah, like you said, that they're just so far away that they haven't traveled here.
Yep.
Or like we were talking, like, who's to say that they're not just like a planet of savages or a planet of really well-learned people who just don't focus on space travel. They're focused on other things, like, I don't know, not destroying their planet.
I mean, hell, we know more about space than we know about our oceanic system. Like,
the ocean terrifies me.
There could be little green men living at the bottom of the fucking ocean. We wouldn't know about it.
The ocean absolutely terrifies me.
Yeah.
Like, talk about just a massive body of does not give a fuck about you.
Yep.
When you are in the water in the ocean, you are at the mercy of the water in the ocean, like, and the creatures in it. Like, dude.
And she can be a hateful bitch.
Yeah, all it takes is one riptide, bro, and you're out in the middle of fucking water and fucked, as I like to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, down here, I don't know about how it is up there with the beaches and stuff, but like I know around here, there's like big issues with riptide.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of them up here too.
Yeah,
the
just like
biggest thing, listeners, if you ever get caught in a riptide, don't fight it, because it will take you a certain distance and it'll let you go. And you can just swim back. It's not going to take you a mile offshore. It usually takes you sideways. So
yeah, the trick is to swim parallel with the beach.
Yeah.
That way you're kind of swimming with it, but also outwards or out of it. But yeah, the problem with riptides is that they'll drag you underwater.
Yeah.
Like, they're strong and they'll pull you under waves and shit. Like, that's where the big issue is. Like, if you're not an avid swimmer, but if you're like a decent to avid swimmer, like, you'll be able to make it back to shore if you get pulled out.
Oh yeah.
Unless it's a particularly bad one. But like, no, the main problem with those is that they suck you up under a wave and then like you try to catch your breath and can't.
True. Just stay out of the ocean. It's fucking scary, y'all. Damn, nature, you scary.
Damn, nature. Yeah, I don't know. There's got to be something out there somewhere.
Yeah, I think so too. But we'll probably never see it, especially not in our lifetime.
No. Not unless we discover immortality or, vampires decide to
and the fucking way education is regressing, I don't think any of our children's going to see it either. They're fucking fighting. God. Like, dude, I mean, like, in the 60s, we landed a man on the moon. Now, those same scientists are trying to convince people that the earth is not flat. Like, yeah, we're fucking going backwards.
Yeah, I know a teacher, and I won't give her name because obvious reasons, but like I know a teacher, and she told me that, it used to be like how well you done on the FCAT and your grades and stuff, like that's what gave the school money.
Yep.
Now it's graduation rate.
Yep.
So they're just letting kids who should not be graduating graduate because it looks good on the school.
Yep. If you hold a student back, then you lose funding. So, and we're just pumping out generations of idiots.
Fucking idiots, dude. I can't tell you how many kids that, like, we were in high school and those motherfuckers were like, and I don't want to pick on people who have learning disabilities or anything like that. These kids did not have learning disabilities.
Yeah, they were just idiots.
Their learning disability was that they didn't fucking pay attention. So, dude, like, their reading comprehension, bro, was like 4th grade level. They'd be like, the sailor went to the bar to get some fish. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, motherfucker, we're in 10th grade.
Yep. Yep.
But when they were talking everything else, like, yeah, man, we went to Hog Waller last weekend. You know, I was out there, put a dip in, fuck my sister and all that shit. You know, got out there in the buds, just rolling around and all that. Oh, yeah, get her done.
Yep. Went out in the river with my dick out, caught a fish.
Caught a fish? Catfish?
Yeah,
let it on it for a while.
But I mean, the bad part is a lot of these idiots are older than us. So, not the education system, that's the problem. Smart kids are going to be fine because they're curious and they teach themselves shit if they have to. But like you said, that's the problem, is the general masses are not being taught to be smart anymore. They're taught to be on time and shut up and do what you're told without asking questions. They're being trained to be obedient workers in the workforce. They're trying to lubricate these cogs that they're going to eventually stick in that corporate machine and pump out capitalism. And
that's why kids like me used to get in trouble and have, like, my grades were whatever because I wanted to learn stuff. I couldn't learn stuff because most of my classes were just other people were just disrupting the entire time. And that would piss the teacher off. And then you're not going to learn anything because the teacher's pissed. He's just going to hand you a worksheet and you guys are going to do whatever. It's like, man, it's fucked up. Yep.
I remember doing my apprenticeship at the plant. I had to do some classes at the community college. So there was about 40% of the class were guys like me, older guys that were either doing it for work or doing it as training to get a new job. So like they were on, unemployment and they were taking classes because of their unemployment. And then the other 60% of the class were like 18-year-olds who were in robotics or whatever class. They had to take these like electrical and soldering classes and stuff. And I remember the teacher got so pissed one day. Like all those kids were fucking talking and, just talking amongst themselves and shit. And he drew a chassis ground symbol on the board. And he was like, who can tell me what this is? And nobody said anything. And like he got so pissed off because he was like, if you don't understand what this shit is and you go out in the workplace, you're going to die. He's like, you're fucking with electricity. You're going to get killed if you don't understand what these symbols mean. And like he passed out a bunch of worksheets, right? And he said, he told everybody open the book to chapter whatever, because this class we never did book work. It was never book work. It was always, doing labs, doing fun shit. He's like, open your book to chapter whatever. Start reading, answer the questions at the end of the chapter, do chapters 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 or something like a bunch of shit. And he was like, you, and you come meet me in my office. And it was like the 4 of us that were the older people there. We go to his office. He's like, yeah, y'all don't have to do that shit. I'm just punishing those little dickheads. He was like, y'all go ahead and do a lab and then go home. I was like, fuck yeah. Because like he knew like we were there because we genuinely wanted to learn this shit. Those kids were there because they had to be for some other bullshit that they wanted to be doing. So,
no. Did you ever have to take ethics class?
Maybe.
So I took it in college, and man, you want to talk about a class that just bred arguments?
I believe it.
Fucking ethics class. And my teacher was super cool. He came in the first day and he's like, this is a class with freedom of expression. I ask you not to be super filthy mouthed, but if you feel the need to use language to get your point across, that's okay. I don't want you to shout at each other, but I'm going to encourage healthy discourse between everyone, and we had to cover some fucked up shit in that class. Like this story about this guy who killed his daughter, but it was because like her quality of life was just awful.
Yeah.
So he put her in the car in the garage and turned it on and let her just slowly pass away. And there were people in the class that were like, how could he do that to his kid? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I understand where he's coming from. If your kid's like just in pain and miserable every single day, and you love them so much that you know that if you could just take that away and make them not feel that anymore, that it would be better than their life. Like, that's a hard decision to make. Yeah. I was like, telling him, I'm like, you people are acting like he just decided to kill his kid one day. Like, remember, no, this dude probably, because it wasn't a serial killer or a probably Casey Anthony situation.
That decision probably ate him up inside. Like, should he do that? Or like, there were probably many sleepless nights debating that internally.
Yeah, man, and then we're talking about cannibalism and other cultures and stuff, and like people in the class would be like, that's wrong, like that's wrong, and the teacher was like, yes, but that's how you feel because our culture looks at it as wrong, and that's what we're learning today is culturalism. It's like, just because your culture thinks it's wrong doesn't mean every culture is going to feel that way.
Yep.
And he used eating dogs as an example.
Oh yeah.
He was like, we love dogs over here. Well, there are countries that eat dogs, and all the girls in the class like, ah.
Yep. I mean, you look at like India. You know, cows are sacred in Hinduism. They don't eat cows. And we say that's weird. Why don't you make hamburgers and stuff? We eat dogs. So, oh, that's fucked up. They think it's fucked up that we eat cows. Like, it's...
Yeah.
And I've read it was a comedian I listened to, and he was talking about that. He's like, we don't eat the livestock that we eat because it's the most delicious. He's like, horse meat. He's like, I've eaten horse meat before. It is way better than cow meat. He's like, but you got to think, back in the day when you had to hunt down food with a stick and a rock, horses run fast. Cows don't. He's like, chickens are birds, but they can't fly. Like, we eat the shit that's easy to catch. And he's like, I mean, he's got a fucking point. Like,
that's true. We eat pigs, not boar.
Yep.
Because boar will fuck you up.
Yep. Did you know, though, if you take a domestic pig and put it in the wild, it'll grow tusk and hair?
Really? That's awesome. Yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah, if you take a pig and put it in the wild, it will pseudo transform into a boar.
That's rad.
So
pigs are cool, man.
But yeah, like, pigs are domesticated. They're, I don't want to say okay with their station in life, but it is what it is for them, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas, like you said, a boar is not going to go down without a fight.
So I used to have a buddy of mine who had a blow problem, right?
Yeah.
And me and him went out to the guy he used to get it from his house one day. And I walked in, and I sit down on the couch while they're in the kitchen doing their business. And the guy lived with this girl, and this girl had a pig.
Nice.
That lived in the house. And this is no, like, small little potbelly pig. Those don't exist. Like, this motherfucker was a big motherfucker pig, right?
Yep.
And he comes walking his big happy ass into the living room where I'm at. And I swear to God, Jeremy, like a dog, he walked over to me and just plopped his big ass head on my lap because he wanted head scratches.
Yep. Pigs are extremely intelligent. They're actually very clean animals. Like, they don't like being like, they take mud baths, but it's mud protects their skin. Yeah, it protects them from UV rays. They don't get sunburns. It cools them off. But like, they're clean animals. Like, put in a house, they will use a litter box and shit like that. But yeah, they're very highly, highly intelligent. But like you said, we eat them, so we don't want to keep them as pets because it's humanizing those pork chops that you eat for dinner on Thursday night. So, you know.
Yeah. And I just want to point out, I don't know about you, like, I don't know if you eat pork chops or not, but like, the normal pork chops that you get from like the grocery store and stuff are about this big.
Yeah.
Okay. What fucking pig is that little? Like, that lets be grown to full size. Like, any full size, like, that shit's coming from a pig that's probably like 2 years old, if that.
Probably.
Like, because pigs that I've seen, I'm
huge.
like, dude, they're fucking huge. And the pork chop would probably be, you know, at least double what I'm talking about.
Now, I don't know cuts of meat like that. Could it be that they're sectioning that actual part of the pig?
Now, that could be.
It's probably that. They're taking whatever piece of the pig that it comes from and just cutting it into a bunch of pork chops.
Because I feel, if I remember correctly, because I've watched people, take apart a pig before, it was like you get your bacon and your backstrap stuff, and then you get your ribs, and then once you get the ribs off, then you get your pork chops, if I remember right, but I could be wrong. And then you have hams too. And I've seen some big ass hams. So like, I'm going to go ahead and say that those pigs were probably full grown.
Now the ham is the, for lack of a better term, the ass cheek, right? Like the ass cheek and thigh, rear thigh.
That back leg.
Yeah. That juicy booty. I ate some ham for dinner tonight. It's fucking delicious.
I tell you what, man, I'm very hit and miss on ham, but like good ham is really good.
Juicy ham. Oh.
Yeah.
Delicious. Like have you ever had canned ham? Like the black label canned ham. It's
yes. Yeah.
It's like
shaped like a ham.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. It's like maybe a step and a half above Spam, but it's good. I like it. I think it's all the like shitty cuts of the pig. And they just like, it's a ham, but like maybe that pig had a fucked up leg. And they're like, we can't sell this as a ham. Put it in the fucking grinder, stuff it into a can, and we'll sell it as canned ham.
Yeah, we'll shape it like a ham. And
my grandmother used to make them for me at like, because I don't eat like off the bird turkey and chicken and stuff because the stringy texture of the meat, I just don't like. I've choked on it before. I just don't really like that texture. So like my grandmother would make like a canned ham to have too, so I would eat that. Because it's quick and easy. Like, it's really quick and easy. But yeah, like ham, I fucking love ham.
My grandma used to fry me up Spam sandwiches.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff. Like, those are fucking good. Like, I don't care what anybody says. If you cook Spam right, it's tasty.
Spam is not bad. Vienna sausages aren't bad.
Vienna sausages, like, when I was a kid, they grossed me out. But as I've gotten older, I can appreciate their flavor. You know what I mean? Like,
so, and here's my thing. Like, I eat what's called potted meat. I don't know if you've ever had it.
I've never had it, but I've seen it.
It's like a little like small ass can like this big of just pureed meat. It's meat you can spread with a knife. It's fucking it. Anybody who's never eat it thinks it's the grossest shit on the planet. But it's good. I like it. Somebody as fucking picky as me, I like it. The only thing I don't like now is it has mustard in it. You know how I feel about mustard. And you can taste it, but I kind of get past that. But there's just so much salt in it to preserve it that it's just like the older I get, the less I can handle that extreme, like almost like MSG kind of saltiness, like where you can tell it's just packed with preservation salt.
Yeah, Spam's the same way.
Yeah, I just can't eat that stuff as much now that I'm getting older.
Yeah, just going back to the ham thing. Every time I scratch Daisy on the butt, and like we'll be talking about what we're having for dinner, and I always grab her back legs and go, "We can have ham."
Oh yeah.
And she always looks at me like, "No, don't take my legs."
I always get Gus because Gus loves butt scratches to the point like if you're scratching his head, he will sort of like move himself under your hand to where it's on
Daisy
his
does
butt.
the same fucking thing,
and then he'll just stand there as long as you're willing to scratch his haunches and stuff. Haunches are the shoulders, but yeah, as long as you're willing to scratch his butt, he's perfectly fine to stand there and take it.
I just picture that little bulldog like 20 minutes later just standing there. Just like,
he's just standing there like, yep, scratch him.
Keep going.
And man, he is so muscular. Like, he doesn't work out. All he does is fucking lay around all day. But he's so goddamn muscular. Probably because his fucking food is $36 for a 14-pound bag.
Damn.
Yeah, because he has to have grain-free. Because bulldogs, people who don't know, bulldogs have a lot of health issues because they're abominations. They shouldn't exist. But we force them into existence, and they're like kind of like Mr. Meeseeks. They just want to die. And so I haven't had any real skin issues with him. His breathing is not terrible. So like the healthier food, I feed him a Call of the Wild. And it's like made with real like bison and elk and all kinds of crazy ass animals that don't live around here. And I tell him, I'm like, dude, you better eat this goddamn food. It's better than the shit I'm gonna eat. Like, I'm gonna go fucking warm up some bagel bites out of the freezer. You better eat this goddamn real meat.
Be grateful for it, you little fucker.
You're gonna eat it. You're gonna like it.
You're gonna like it.
And I will say, his old food, he was on I think it was like Nature's Own or something, or no, Whole Earth Farms food. He puked all the time, which now he eats fast and he swallows like full kernels of food. So I was like, oh, he's just eating too fast, you know. I switched him to this other food and he rarely ever pukes anything up now. So I'm like, maybe that food just wasn't good for him. Like, maybe this food's better. So
I wondered that sometimes with Daisy, because she'll like eat a bunch and then she'll go outside, and then later on she'll just be like kind of mopey and then go outside and eat grass.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, something's bothering her stomach, you know.
Yep. Now he'll run around and get too excited and he gets all that phlegm in his throat, and then he's just and it's just like, oh my god, it's the grossest shit. It's like thick white phlegm with pieces of dog food and shit. This is making me feel sick just thinking about it. Yeah. I get fucking dog puke PTSD from this goddamn dog, dude. I can handle shit. I can handle piss, whatever. Puke, I cannot handle. Kids, adults, dogs, whatever, I can't fucking do puke. It just grosses me out. Like, I always tell like girlfriends, I'm like, if we have kids, I'll handle dirty diapers, I'll handle pee, whatever. That kid starts puking, he's on you. Because I'm going to leave the room so that I don't puke and you got to clean that up too.
Yeah, there's been times that like a dog's gotten sick and thrown up or something like that, and I go get my mom because I'm like, if I try to clean this up, I'm going to vomit as well.
Yeah,
so.
And then you're going to have to clean up both of our vomits.
Yeah, because then I'm definitely not doing it if I puke.
No.
But anyways, off of that.
To make it even more gross?
Nope. No.
If this dog pukes and you don't clean it up, suffice to say, he'll clean it up for you.
Yeah. I knew that's where you're going with that.
That's more gross than cleaning it up. I'm like, no, I'm giving you away to somebody else. You're fucking gross.
I need you to eat my poo, Brian. Jeremy, what the fuck is your song of the week?
My song of the week is a song for the ladies. But fellas, listen closely. It is Tenacious D's Fuck Her Gently. Such a classic. Good fucking song.
Absolute classic.
Yes.
Let's go listen to that whole album.
Yes.
It's just so good.
Listen to the whole Tenacious D self-titled album. It's so fucking good. What about you?
So I've done this band before. They had a song called Walking Away that I did as a song of the week one episode. It feels like 1 year ago. But yeah, I'm going to go with Information Society's song What's on Your Mind, and it's Pure Energy is the like parenthesis. And it's one of those songs that nobody knows who sings it, but when you hear it, you know it. It's like that I want to know what you're thinking. There are some things you can't hide.
Oh yeah,
it's an 80s song. Yeah, everybody's heard it, but no one knows who the fuck sings it. It's called the band's called Information Society, and they're really good. I really quite like them a lot. So go check them out, man. So, if you just search Pure Energy, it'll come up.
So you're saying the people who don't know Information Society have a lack of information?
Yeah, they have a lack of information about the Society of Information, or otherwise known as the Information Society.
Yeah, maybe if they found the Information Society, they could be more informed.
They could be more informed. Oh, man. All right. Let's get into some listener questions, my good sir.
Yes. Let's.
First up. Oh, the first two are from my boo. If a mind reader and a future seer, or a fortune teller, whatever you want to call it, play chess, who would win?
I don't know, because I don't believe in either of those things, so I feel like it would just be two normal people.
Okay, so I will put myself into the situation of actually thinking about this then. So a future seer could see in the future, but then the mind reader would be able to also see in the future. So in a way, you're correct. Like, in a way, I think they would cancel each other out, and it would be it would just be like two people playing chess to a stalemate, because the mind reader would know every move the future seer is going to make, but the future seer can see the future and know what the mind reader is going to do.
I'm going to go off of that, but I'm going to call a paradox. So the future seer can see the future. Can the mind reader change the future, or can they just see it? Because if they change it, then that means that the future seer is not seeing the actual future, so they would see the new future. So I'm going to say there's a paradox there. I think both their heads would explode.
I was going to say, yeah, that was where the black hole would be created, is between them. Like the chessboard would just, and then it'd be over.
Yeah.
All right. Another one from Courtney. Which inanimate object would be the most horrifying if it came to life? And her example to me was a giant dildo.
Why did I know that? You didn't tell me that, but I had a feeling. So I'm trying to think, what's the most scary inanimate object?
I mean, like,
it's funny because I'm literally pulling a George Glass here. There's a vacuum cleaner next to my desk, but like, how fucking scary would it be if a vacuum cleaner came to life?
Not very, because like, what's it gonna do?
Fucking.
Oh, I guess if it had like teeth and stuff,
yeah,
that would
try to eat your face. You'd be like, oh, you're alive now? Oh, bring that hose over here. And vacuum's like, no, you've raped me enough.
What are you doing, step owner?
Yeah.
I think the fridge would be freaky, because like you go in there to get something to eat and it in turn eats you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would fucking suck. Your car, like, I don't know, inanimate objects, like if we're talking like Transformer style or like Kip from Knight Rider, then that's cool.
Yeah.
But if we're talking like Christine,
yeah,
fuck that.
Yeah. The Statue of Liberty, that'd be kind of freaky. There's some big green chick stomping through New York.
I want to go on that ride, Daddy. Me too, son.
Me too.
Me too.
It wouldn't be scary. I think it'd be kind of funny if like your chopsticks came to life and they were just like talking mad shit to you. Like, yeah, I see you eating them noodles, you fat bitch. Yeah, keep on eating them. Yeah. Noodles are what you need right now, you fat bitch. Why don't you try going outside and going for a walk?
You can't even hold me right.
Yeah.
Why don't you go get one of them pieces of paper and a rubber band like a fucking child?
For some reason, like, I'm not going to do it, but for some reason I want them to have extremely racist Chinese accents and just bash you for being an American.
Like the dude from South Park. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That's what I need in my life.
Yeah.
You could probably make some money on, well, maybe, depending on how far you lean into that.
Yeah.
Like, but in the novelty, like Spencer's Gifts type thing, like chopsticks that talk shit to you for not being able to use them properly. Like, I don't know.
Trees. If trees just came to life, that'd
what's
be
that one movie?
Lord of the Rings.
Or that other movie. That where all the trees and the plants are making people kill themselves.
The Mist. Was that the one?
No. The Mist was a Stephen King story, I think.
I don't know.
I don't know. There was like all I remember is about it. I never saw the movie. I saw the trailer, and like somebody just like straight lays under a lawnmower, and then somebody else just like walks off a building.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of what it is.
It ends up being that the trees are making people kill themselves.
Yeah, it was something about like the spores from the plants or like mind controlling people and making them kill. I can't remember what it was though. Let's see. I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I'm gonna try to think of other. Like your boxes of cereal would suck. You go to reach in to get the bag and it bites your hand off.
Yeah, that would be kind of shitty.
That'd be real shitty, man. I love cereal.
The Happening.
The Happening.
It was a fucking M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong movie.
M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong.
With Mark Wahlberg, Zooey Deschanel, John Leguizamo, and Betty Buckley.
All we need is a transformer.
Revolves around an inexplicable natural disaster causing mass suicides.
Yeah, a fucking fun for the whole family type of movie.
I feel like I did watch that. I mean, it came out 14 years ago.
I don't remember people like thinking it was like great or anything. But
this Mark Wahlberg gift comes from that movie. The confused Mark Wahlberg gift.
Oh shit!
It comes from that movie.
All right, here's one from Jeff. I don't know if you can answer this.
Probably not.
Do you prefer sauce or dry rub when cooking ribs?
No, I don't cook or eat ribs, so yeah. I'm going to defer this one to you.
Defer. All right, so I normally go dry rub, right? What I like to do is I have a dry rub recipe. If you'd like the dry rub recipe, tell me. I'll type it up for you in Discord because I'm not going to try to just like rattle it all off right now. But I put that on there, and then I'll spritz them with apple juice as they cook to keep them moist. Or what I do is I'll dry rub them, and then right before they're done, I'll get the silicone brush that I have, and I'll put some sauce in a bowl, and I'll brush sauce on them, and then I'll take sauce side and put it down over the fire to kind of glaze it onto the meat. So yeah, it kind of just depends on the situation, Jeff.
So I'll say, do I prefer sauce or dry rub when I'm jacking it? Dry rub too. Less messy, less cleanup.
I mean, yeah, you got to make your own sauce.
You don't necessarily have to wash your hands after you do it. You still should. You don't necessarily have to.
Would you rather meet Tony Soprano or Walter White? Characters, not actors.
Walter White. He was a scientist. I feel like the conversation would be better, and I'm not a huge fan of like the Jersey gangster like mentality. Like I'm not a fan of people who I'm trying to think of the right way to word it.
You don't like wise guys.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of wise guys.
Oh, you a fucking wise guy? Hey.
But yeah, I think me and Walter White would have more in common.
See, I'm going to go the opposite. I would rather meet Tony Soprano. And because I'd meet up with him probably at a deli. We'd have a nice cold cut sandwich. It'd be fucking delicious with some gabagool. And then we'd step outside. We'd have a nice ass cigar. And we would sit there and watch the world go by. And I'd be like, all right, Tone, I'll catch you later. He'd be like, all right, I'll see you around. Yeah, whatever the fuck. And just fuck off. And like, it would be sweet. And then like, are you kidding me to sit there and listen to him make fun of old Paulie Walnuts? It would be fantastic.
Speaking of, I saw a little clip on Facebook earlier. You ever see those videos people like post like a clip of a movie, but it's like sped up or whatever. The voices are super high and fast pitched, like high pitched and fast. It was that. It was apparently a movie called Bully from like 2008. About some kid who's getting like picked on by a kid at school, and he like takes him in and teaches him how to box or whatever. But it had Danny Trejo in it, and it had Big Pussy in it. And I was like, damn, I might need to watch this movie now.
Hell yeah, dude. God, what is his name? Vincent Pastore.
Yeah.
Vinny Pastore. He's a good fucking actor, dude.
But yeah, I think me and Walter White would have more in common. Talk about science shit. He could teach me how to cook crystal meth, and then I can make a bunch of money. I wouldn't be stupid about it like him, and I would make a bunch of money and then just get out. Like when I literally had a storage unit with pallets full of cash, I would just stop.
I remember that scene when he just opens that thing and they're like, what is this? It's our money.
Yeah.
I don't know how much is here. I lost count.
Yeah.
What? All right. So his follow-up question to that is, would you rather have a drink and conversation with James Gandolfini or Bryan Cranston?
I'm going to still go with Bryan Cranston. He seems like not only a genuinely nice person, but a genuinely interesting person. Like I think he would not only be super fun to talk to and listen to, but I feel like he would actually ask you in questions and engage you in the conversation as well, instead of just talking about himself or talking the whole time.
I'm going to go with James Gandolfini because I feel like we'd just be like hanging out at a deli getting a cold cut sandwich. Yeah. It would be have a good cigar afterwards. It'd be the same situation, just it'd be James Gandolfini, and I wouldn't be so threatened of my life. But
you wouldn't be worried that you were going to either get killed or get pulled into the mob.
Yeah.
Hey Dalton, you have a working sanitation?
I know a guy. So his next question, Jeff's next question: if you could meet a historical figure, who would you meet and why?
So are we talking historical, like anyone famous from the past, or are we talking like has to be someone they teach about in history class in high school?
One of each.
Okay. In that case, I don't know. That doesn't really help. I wasn't prepared for a follow-up question.
I think Tesla would be interesting to have a conversation with. Nikola Tesla.
I think he'd be really cool.
just to hear the ideas that man had. You know,
him or Albert Einstein would be really cool.
Einstein would also be really cool. Yeah, I agree.
As far as just any random famous person, Chris Farley. I think Chris Farley would be super cool to sit down and.
But that's not a historical figure.
I mean, we're getting old, Dalton. He's pretty historical. He died like 30 years
historical.
ago. He died like almost 30 years ago.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see, a historical figure that like we didn't learn about in school. I did say Tesla, and we learned about Edison, but didn't learn too much about Tesla.
That motherfucker. I don't like Thomas Edison.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, Thomas Edison was a piece of shit. If you want to know more about that, hit us up in Discord. I'll make that a topic next week. Thomas Edison is a piece of shit. I have receipts I can give for that.
I would like to meet like maybe like the guy who started like Hershey or like the Mars company or something like what candy did they make when they were like, dude, we could go global with this, and then it worked. You know what I mean? Like, I would like to meet those dudes just to see like how, like what kind of people they were. I'm very fascinated with food, right? So like if I was gonna go historical figure like you did with Chris Farley, then I'm going Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
Right. And but he died way more recently.
So I will throw out another one that's historical, but you never learn anything about him. I want to talk to that first motherfucker who decided to drink milk from a cow. Because I bet he did a lot of other weird shit too.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always thought about that. Like, who decided to like cook food?
Yeah.
And like, what was their thought process with that? Who decided like, hey, this rock, when you lick it, I don't know the word for it. Let's call it salty. Yeah. Like, I bet this would be good on food if we crushed it up on there.
Yeah.
Who the fuck thought of that?
I just want to know who saw a big ass cow in a field and was like, I'm gonna go suck on them titties.
Unless they cooked meat and it didn't taste as good as when they cooked fish, because fish came out of the ocean, which the ocean was inherently salty, and they were like,
let's sprinkle some ocean water on this bitch.
So that's a thought. Like maybe in a soup back in the day, in order to flavor it, they would put a splash of ocean water in there.
Maybe.
I don't know. This is just me speculating. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Who knows?
I can tell you another one that along the Chris Farley lines is Vern Troyer. Not Vern Troyer. Fuck is his name? Oh my god, why am I drawing a blank? The dude that played Ernest.
Oh. Ed something, right? Ed something?
No, it wasn't Ed. Fuck. Man, like he's one of my favorite. Jim Varney. Jim Varney was his name. Yeah. I think he would have been really cool. I loved Ernest as a kid. Like, those movies were right up my fucking alley.
I don't know. I think like meeting any of the people who signed the Declaration of Independence would be interesting.
At the same time, they're politicians, so.
No, I know that, but just to see just to be in that room when they decided to declare their independence and just the vibe. I would like to see feel the vibe of that room. Like, were they hype? Were they all calm? Were they like, fuck yeah, fuck the Brits? Like, I want to know, because we only know about history, and history is written by the winners.
True.
So like,
that's why we don't hear about Nikola Tesla. We hear about Thomas Edison.
Thomas Edison,
that motherfucker.
Next episode.
Yeah.
So his next question: which inventor would you want to join on their maiden voyage? William Murdoch and the steam locomotive, Henry Ford in the Model T, or the Wright brothers in the Flyer?
Probably not the Wright brothers, because that seems the most scary of the three. I'm going to go with Henry Ford just because I have a passion for cars. I think that'd be pretty cool, but that fucking first steam locomotive would be pretty fucking cool too.
I really find trains interesting as much as I don't like talk about it. Like looking at trains and like how they work and stuff baffles me, and I love it. So I'm going to go with that.
Especially those locomotive. Like bullet trains overseas that go like 300 miles an hour or some shit like that.
Insane.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane, man.
I'm going to ride one of those before I die. That's on my bucket list. I want to get on a bullet train and just ride.
Bro, me and you should go to Japan because we would stick out like sore thumbs because we're both tall and big. Like, we would probably have trouble eating in restaurants and stuff, but it was...
Speaking of, join our Patreon.
Yeah.
Donate money so me and Dalton can go to Japan. We'll do a vid. We'll do an episode while we're over there.
Yeah, we'll vlog the whole thing.
You know what I want to do? And I was thinking about it. I was listening to Willie's B-side for the Steam Machine podcast. He was talking about VHS tapes. He was talking about renting Star Trek and accidentally getting King Kong versus Godzilla, which, funny enough, I have a copy of sitting on top of my dresser, the VHS of that movie. But I was like, you know how fucking cool it would be to go to Japan and like hunt for VHS tapes or shit like that over there? Like, and they have to be dirt fucking cheap. Like, most of that stuff over there is just video games, all that stuff's just so much cheaper. Like, that'd just be so cool to go for like 2 weeks and just video game and VHS hunt the entire time you're there. Go with a shitload of money and an extra empty suitcase and just fill it up with all that shit.
Dude, I've heard that you can go into like Super Potato and places over there and just find like sealed Super Famicoms. Yep. Like, it's no big deal. I'm like, what the fuck? That's so wild. Over here, a sealed Super Nintendo, people would shit their pants for it.
Yeah. And now the prices are going up because what's happening is it's become popular over here in the capitalist world, the capitalist capital of the world. So Americans are driving the price of Japanese shit up because we're willing to pay insane amounts of money for stupid shit.
Yeah.
So.
Yay, America.
Yeah. America. Fuck yeah.
So Jeff's next question was, why is no one else asking questions?
Yeah, I wanted to add that one in. I thought it would be funny. Yeah. So y'all ask more questions. Jeff's tired of carrying you all on his back.
And
we love you, Jeff.
We do love you, Jeff. And we love the rest of you too.
Yes.
Kana wants to know, how do you like your steak?
I don't eat steak either.
That's right. Okay, so I'm going to say I'm cool with medium to medium rare. I don't like straight rare. I mean, I will eat straight rare, but I prefer it medium rare. I'll eat a steak any way you give it to me, really, as long as it's not raw. Like raw.
So you'll eat one of those Donald Trump like dress you soles smothered in ketchup?
Oh, I won't like it, but like if somebody is offering to cook me a steak and that's just how they cook it and give it to me, like, I'm going to be respectful and eat it.
You know what's funny? I don't know how to cook a steak because I've never cooked one for myself. I cook them for the dog every year on his birthday, but like, I could just give him the raw steak and he wouldn't care. So I basically just lay it in the pan for a little while. I flip it over, let it lay in the pan for a little while longer, flip it over again, make sure both the sides are brown, and cut it up and feed it to him. He doesn't care. He gets steak. Yeah. And I don't get him like cheap steak. Like, he got the fuck did I get him last time? I think one year he got like top shelf T-bones. Last year I think he got ribeye or something like that.
This is making me hungry.
Like a $20 steak for his birthday from the grocery store.
Let's see. Okay, so Jeff had another question for us. What do you think is the most influential first-person shooter? Wolfenstein, Quake, or GoldenEye?
I'm gonna agree with Nate and say Doom.
Well, I'm gonna knock GoldenEye off and say Wolfenstein, Quake, or Doom. And even then, it's a tough tie between Wolfenstein and Doom.
I'm not even gonna do that because I think GoldenEye is an influential first-person shooter because it was the first real console multiplayer shooter. So it was an influential game. To me, of these three, it would be between Quake and GoldenEye because to me, Wolfenstein, while it was really good, it was very derivative of Doom. Or did Wolfenstein come first?
I was about to say, motherfucker, Wolfenstein came first.
Yeah. Well, in that case, yeah, it's between those three, it's tight.
Yeah, I'm gonna say out of those three, Wolfenstein.
I'd probably say Wolfenstein, yeah, just because it's the OG more or less.
But
I can never
Quake,
remember which one. Didn't Quake start the more tournament based?
Quake was like the next step. Yeah, Quake spawned like Unreal Tournament and all of those types of games.
I would say of these three, I would say they're equally influential in their
different ways.
own times. Yeah, like they're equally influential, but for the time that they came out.
Like in and I could have my timing slightly off with Quake and GoldenEye, but I feel like it's like if not for Wolfenstein, you wouldn't have the other two.
Yeah.
But if not for Quake, you wouldn't have GoldenEye.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. So I don't know. Jeff, they're all influential. Go fuck yourself.
If it wasn't for GoldenEye, you wouldn't have Mario GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Which I still need to send you video of that. You need to find that ROM and play it. It's amazing.
Oh my God. Christina getting deep.
I told you. I asked her, I was like, do you want me to tag you in this question? She's like, yeah, it's fine.
Wow. All right. If not currently sexually active, how often do you take care of yourself?
So
that is a hell of a question.
Yeah. I was like, that's a good question.
It depends on the day.
So the last relationship I was in, I was being actively rejected for the last 8 months of said relationship. And at a point it was like every single day. Like every day. Well, now I'm on this medication. I think it's either the medication is ruining my drive or I just can't be bothered. One of the two. But like I'll go days or weeks without doing it. But then like I had a day the other day where I think I did it like 3 times. So it's kind of all over the place right now. Did you know scientifically men are supposed to masturbate, I think, or ejaculate 21 or 28 times a month for like proper prostate health and all of that stuff.
Oh yeah, those are rookie numbers.
Yeah. Oh, dude, when I was like 16, 17, I remember getting like 5 a day sometimes.
I'm fucking 30 and sometimes I'll do 5 a day. Like,
no, I'm too old.
It just
for that
depends.
Shit.
Like when I have a day where I bust out like 4 or 5, I won't do it again for like a few days, right?
Yeah.
But even when I was actively having sex with Savannah when we were together, I still jerked off. Like, listen, it's just something I do to pass time. It's something I do when I'm bored. So I would say, I don't know, like when I'm not working, twice a day. Like when I was not working for like the last year, twice a day, every day. Like Courtney can comment on this if she wants to, in a thing. Like she knows, like she's commented, she's like, geez, you have a high ass sex drive. And I'm like, yes, I know. I am sorry. May I see your titties? And she's like, yes, you may. I'm like, sweet. Don't take
this medication I'm on, because it just.
Oh.
But like,
no, I'll take Blue Chew and fuck for hours.
It's good for me though, because I'm not like looking for love in all the wrong places, for lack of a better phrase. I can focus more on healing myself versus seeking validation from somebody else. It's nice. And then, like I said, I get horny. Ex-hamster's always there for me.
Bro, here's my thing. I can get horny and I can like try to coerce a girl to come over and to have sex and all that stuff. Or I can jerk off in like 5 minutes and get it done and get back to doing what I'm doing, right? So like with Courtney being up in Ohio, obviously I can't hit her up. But like if she was near here, that's different, because then like, it would probably be a relationship thing, but we'd just be doing it. But the effort into going to get like a girl to come over to have sex is so much most times that I just don't even bother with it anymore. Yeah,
crazy jack off story coming out. I remember one time I was dating this girl. She was also actively rejecting me, so obviously something's up with me, because like I date girls for a while and they just like, I don't want that dick anymore. But I remember she was in the living room and I like got out of the shower getting ready for work, and I was just like, I'm gonna jerk off real quick. No porn, no nothing. For some reason, just like instant boner. I'm talking about like a 6-7 stroker. Bam. Busting the toilet. I don't know if it was like the thrill that like the door was open to the bathroom. She could have come in there and caught me at any moment, but like literally something clicked and like it didn't take anything for me to just, and I was like, yep, there's one. Wipe the tip, get dressed, go to work. And like, dude, have you ever had those times where you're just like,
yes,
I'm gonna jack it, and you're just sitting there like watching porn, doing whatever, and just fucking ripping your dick off and just can't finish?
Yeah, been there. Especially when I used to do painkillers.
Oh man, it sucks.
Because then you really can't.
Yeah.
But,
it's like, for me in the mornings, like I'm not a huge fan of morning sex because I struggle to finish in the morning. Like even jacking it, like sometimes I'm just like, God damn, will you fucking go?
I don't know. The last time I can remember having like the 7-stroker was a friend of mine who's quite pretty, and I mean, me and her have like done things before back in the day, but now she's like in a relationship, so I don't tread on that, right?
Yeah.
But she was asking me for like a back massage or something. She had just gotten off work, and like just massaging her and like touching her body made me start like that was familiar to other things that we had done, and it was like when she left, I was like, boom, 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 pow.
Yep.
Boom goes the dynamite. And while we're on the subject of penises, before we switch the story up, my dad wanted me to tell you, Jeremy,
yes,
that he can relate to your story that I cannot, of your dick hole pinching and pissing in 2 different directions.
Yeah.
I told him that me and you were having that conversation. He started cracking the fuck up, and he's like, dude, been there, had that happen to me. And I was like, that's never happened to me. And he's like, seriously? I said, yeah, I think y'all need to get your dicks checked out.
No, what it is it's worse after you've busted a nut. Because like basically there's a little bit of nut still in there, and it kind of just like dries up and glues the sides of the pee hole together. So like you go to pee, it's not fully glued shut, so the pee just goes out of where it's open, and it'll just basically split the stream. And
maybe
like
your urethra is thicker or something. I don't know. I've never had that happen.
It fucking happens to me a lot. Like if there's piss in the bathroom floor, that's probably why. Oh, dude, speaking of, and it sounds really gross, you know what fucking used to be great? Fucking nocturnal emissions. Because you'd be having some fucking dream about just fucking some bombshell, and it's like jerking off without having to do any of the physical labor. You're just like, oh yeah, oh, like you wake up as you're coming in your pants.
I never did that either.
You've never had nocturnal emissions?
No, I definitely like, I would wake up and be super rock hard and have to beat one off, but like I never that came that I remember.
That happens a lot, but every now and then you'll get the fucking nut in the dream, and oh my god, it's glorious. I had that shit happen to me one time while I had a chick sleeping over. Like I'm sitting there fucking, I don't know if it's because I was cuddled up with her, like my shit's rubbing up against her butt or whatever, but like I'm having a fucking sexy ass dream, and I wake up as I'm fucking coming in my pants, and I'm like, fuck. And like I look over and she's still asleep, so I like snuck my arm out and like went to the bathroom, fucking stuffed those underwear down deep in the hamper, I can put my fucking shorts back on, go lay back in bed.
Now I have taken a really good piss in a dream and woke up and I had pissed my pants.
See, I've never done that I can recall.
That happened to me once when I was a kid, and once when I was an adult and I was sick.
Never piss in your dreams. And I'm curious too, any ladies who are willing to admit it or willing to discuss it, do women have wet dreams? Do you guys like have dreams? Like,
do women piss your pants? And I was like, yeah, they do. I've seen it happen.
No. Yeah, I know that happen. I'm like, do women have sex dreams and orgasm in their dreams and wake up with like, you know, the sloppy beef folds?
I'm sure they would if the dream could find the clitoris.
Do they fucking put the secret sauce in their Arby's roast beef while asleep? I'm really curious. So if anybody's willing to tell me if that actually happens, I would love to know.
Jesus Christ, did you have to word it like that? So Christina's next question. Is favorite sport to watch on TV?
So she already knows my answer, Formula One, which technically isn't. Oh, it's technically a sport, but I don't know that it counts. But she knows that, like F1, I live by that calendar. I will wake up at 3 a.m. to watch a race. Like, I don't fucking care. Actual like ball sports, probably football.
I'm gonna go skateboarding. If you're going F1, I'll go skateboarding.
Yeah.
If we're going actual sport, I'm going hockey.
See, I don't like hockey on TV though. It's kind of boring on TV. I like football.
I don't know, man. I like it. Do you prefer your women to have their nails polished or natural? Hands and feet, from Christina.
So when I'm in a relationship with a woman, I do not require her to do anything. Like I tell her, you don't want to shave your armpits and your legs, grow that shit out hairy. I prefer you shower and brush your teeth and wear deodorant and shit. Like, I don't want you really stink, but like, I'm not going to tell you have to do that stuff. Like, but personal preference, I like polished nails. I think they look nice. And I just like it. I think it looks pretty. Like I said, though, I'm not going to require anything out of anybody that I'm in a relationship with.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to require it either, but I'm one of those motherfuckers who's a weirdo. You know me. And I prefer polished, but like, I want to see what they look like natural too.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hands, feet, doesn't matter, both of them. Like, I want to see both. Like, just to know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you're not like, you have these pretty black nails and then you take them off and your fingernails are like these
crusty,
thick, crusty, yellowish talons.
Sure.
And I'm like, oh my God, you're a fucking hag raven.
I have a fun nail polish story too. So when I was in high school, I didn't give a fuck. So one of the girls I was in school with was like, oh, I got this new nail polish. I want to see what it looks like. So I was like, she's like, can I paint your nails? I was like, okay. And it was like some kind of like purple blue glitter nail polish or some shit, whatever. I didn't fucking care. So I gave her my hand and she fucking paints my nails, right? And she's like, oh, look, it looks so good. I'm like, okay. Well, so I just went the rest of the day with my fingernails painted, right? So I'm like 16, 17 years old. I get home after school. Nobody's home. So what do 16, 17-year-old boys do when nobody's at home? Fucking pulled up some naked pictures, start beating my meat, and for some reason, with my fingernails painted, that shit was so much better. Like it was better enough that 20 years later, I remember that particular Jack session. Like, I don't know why. I don't know if it was like a quote unquote stranger phenomenon or whatever, where like you sit on your hand, feels like somebody like maybe with nail polish. My brain was like, you don't wear nail polish, somebody else must be doing this. Dude, did you ever get walked in on by your parents?
One time, and I don't know if she knew what I was doing or not.
Yeah.
Because I was on the toilet shitting. Quotes. Quotes around shitting.
My mom walked in.
Well, hold on. It was with the WWE Divas swimsuit magazine.
Nice.
And I remember I was looking at Stacy Keibler's ass. And yeah, she walked in and I just like set the magazine down and kind of looked up at her. And like the way I was sitting, you couldn't see anything with the way the magazine was and stuff. And she just goes, "Oh, I thought you were done going to the bathroom. I'm sorry, I'll come back." And she walked out and I was like, and we had company over.
Oh man, those fucking
my parents
like
had
covert JOs when people are over. Oh man. No, dude, I had it one time. So anybody younger than me probably doesn't relate to this. You probably remember when I was a kid, we had a family computer room.
Oh my God, yeah.
So we had the computer. It was in a communal room where everybody could use it. So it was the dining room next to the kitchen. So the way the computer desk faced, the monitor faced directly away from the side door where we came in and out of. So I'm sitting there. I got some kind of fucking porno up on the computer. Fucking QuickTime video of some chick doing something raunchy, I'm sure. I'm on my knees in the floor just fucking ripping it. And I hear the fucking door open. And I'm like, fuck. So I start like pulling my shorts up. And my mom walks in, like obviously sees what I'm doing. And I'm like, fuck. And I have to get the whole like, that's not what the family computer's for speech. Man, you're talking about fucking like I've been walked in on fucking. I've been walked in on getting blowjobs in like middle school. Not as embarrassing as getting walked in on jacking it.
I have the worst getting caught getting a blowjob story, but I'm gonna save that for a second because the family computer thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. I remember my dad called me into the computer room one time, and he had this stack of paper about 5 pages thick or so.
Oh, yeah.
With the history of the browser printed on it.
Nice.
And he just started listing off sites.
Yeah, kids, we didn't have private browsing back then. You had to go into the fucking files and delete the browser history. And sometimes after like the 4th, 5th JO of the day, you fucking got absent-minded. You know, your brain didn't have a lot of blood left for it, and you forgot.
So, the blowjob story. So, my buddy Jordan's at my house. His mom and my mom were here, and I was here, and my girlfriend Sammy was here. And me and Sammy sneak off to my room and start fooling around. Well, she starts giving me head, and Jordan's in the living room watching Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny. Of all things, that's what we had on. I remember this vividly. And he said his mom walked in through the living room and was like, "Where's Dalton and Sammy?" And I had shut the bathroom door with the light on and the fan on to make it look like somebody was in there. And he said, I think Sammy's in the bathroom and Dalton's in his room. And she goes, "Oh, okay." And she walks outside. So Jordan comes and doesn't even knock, just bursts the fucking door open to be like, "Y'all need to fucking wrap this shit up," right? Jordan seen my dick. He didn't give a fuck. Like, he was just like, it's like, dude, it startled her. And she just went and bit down. And for the longest time, it's gone now, but for the longest time, bro, I had these little scar marks around the base of my cock from her fucking teeth.
Damn.
And like I said, they're gone now. But like for years, I would look at that and remember. And I'm like, man, that shit sucked. It really hurt. I'm glad it wasn't harder than it was.
Yeah.
I'd be a eunuch, man. So, anyways, Laxby wants to know, if you could play a video game for the rest of your life without any breaks, what would it be?
Without any breaks, so is this like a torture thing where like you're not allowed to stop playing this game forever?
Well, let's say that you're hooked up to a machine that is going to keep you alive, and you don't have to do anything. It's going to keep you sustained. All you have to do is just sit there and play the video game. The machine will keep you healthy. It'll keep you in good shape.
Probably Farming Simulator.
That's fair.
And it takes a long time to do stuff. It's easy to sink hundreds of hours into without really getting bored of it. So, yeah.
Mine's a tie. It's either going to be Black Desert Online or Guild Wars 2. Both MMOs with a bunch of shit to do and lots of classes and characters that you can make and stuff. So
nice.
I'm probably going to lean towards Black Desert because it's prettier. Black Desert Online for an MMO would meet your graphical standards as far as like how good that game looks. It's fucking stupid how good that game looks for an MMO. So Brian, one from Brian. What makes a good story great? How do you quantify that special sauce that sucks you into a story and leaves you wanting it to never end?
To me, it's character development. If you can make me fall in love with the characters of the game, you have me hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, I 100% agree, and I won't even limit that to a game. Like, that's a book.
Yeah, a book, a movie, a TV show.
It's all in the characters. If I love the characters, I'm going to see it through to the end.
If I love the characters, or if I hate a particular character.
Yeah, that too.
Like The Last of Us. That game, I fell in love with Joel and Ellie. Like, I just couldn't get enough.
That's fair. I'm like that with Geralt and The Witcher. I love that whole world.
Oh, yeah.
You know, to the point that, like, I want to read the books and stuff, too. Like, I really do.
Oh, yeah, like, a nice world is good. A good storyline, a good plot is good. But, yeah, if you can make me fall in love with the characters, I'm locked in.
Yeah, and I'll say as far as books go, I think it's in the details.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how do you describe your story? What little intricate details do you weave in there? Are there things that you need to defer on your own? They're not quite written out to you. You know what I mean? Are there things for people to look into? There's just so much that could make a really good story great. You know, like, I would say the main thing would be character development for sure. Like,
one of my favorite books is 100,000 Worlds, and the whole premise of the book is it's a mom who was an actress in some like nerd TV show or something back in the day. And she has a son, but somehow like her husband lives, or her ex lives across the country, and she somehow screwed up the custody agreement. And for her not to get in trouble, she has to send her son to live with his dad for like 2 years. And so the whole story is her traveling across the country, going to these different comic book conventions, like doing appearances, taking him to his dad. And that book made me fall so in love with the characters that the whole time I'm just like, man, like, I hope his dad dies in a car wreck or something so she doesn't have to give her son up. Like, and if you can pull me that deep into the game, into whatever story that I'm contemplating, like killing off a character so that it ends the way I want it to end, like, yeah, you got me. So character development to me is probably number one priority.
I can agree with that. Up next, we got one from Dane, old Mr. L Puzzles, Esquire. A little esoteric, but this is the first thing that popped into my head. Fuck, marry, kill. Yngwie Malmsteen, Joe Satriani, Buckethead.
So I know who Buckethead is. I've heard of Joe Satriani, but you'll have to tell me like who he's. I've heard the name, but I don't know who he plays for or whatever. The other one, I have no idea.
Joe Satriani is a solo artist. He does guitar. He had an album called Surfing with the Aliens. You've probably heard his stuff in movies. Let's put it that way. Like, he's a really good. They're all three really good fucking guitar players. I'm gonna kill Yngwie Malmsteen because he is a cocky piece of shit. I'm going to fuck Buckethead, and I'm gonna marry Joe Satriani.
All right, I don't have enough. So who is Malmsteen?
Yngwie Malmsteen is a dude. I think he was really popular in the 80s. He's got big hair. And his ego is even bigger than his hair, and he plays really fast, and he plays like classical songs, but like plays them as like shred metal stuff. Dude, he's a phenomenal guitar player. It's just he has a massive ego, and it's just kind of annoying.
So yeah, like, so I don't know enough about these people to form an opinion other than Buckethead, and like I said, I barely know Buckethead.
Buckethead is a really good fucking guitar player. Joe Satriani can play anything. But so can Buckethead, so I don't know. Okay, so I guess that would, you don't have a definitive answer for that.
No, I don't have an answer for that one.
Okay.
Sorry,
Will
Dave.
you guys ever do an episode together in the same place? Like you visit Dalton or Dalton visits you, and that comes from Ostara.
I'd love to. Yeah, I think that'd be really cool to do.
I'd like to come up there and see some North Kakalaki.
I would love to get this podcast built up enough, like a big enough fan base, that we were invited to conventions or something. I think that'd be pretty cool to be like a guest, like do a panel at a convention or something. That'd be pretty cool.
I would like to, and it'd be easy for me and Brian and no one else, but like do a meetup in St. Augustine.
Yeah.
Or like have people come down if they want, you know, like say like Nate and like maybe Nate and Willie fly down, you could fly down or drive down, whatever you preferred.
Yeah.
Because you're technically not that far.
Yeah, technically. But I hate driving.
8 to 10 hours. But then you know, Jeff, I mean, if he wanted to come, Kana, like there's so many people. Like I said, it would be easy for me and Brian because me and Brian both live right here. But St. Augustine's just such a cool place.
Gotta get Courtney down there too.
Yeah, dude. Listen. Courtney told me, I told her, I said, now that I'm making money, you know, I'm going to be putting money back for you to come visit. She's like, I really want to come visit, but I'm afraid I wouldn't leave. And I'm like, I'm not afraid of that at all. Come on.
It's like, I don't see the downside in this.
Or shit, we can leave together.
I could probably talk Ostara and Christina into coming. I don't think it'd be that hard to do.
St. Augustine is just something that we could do, and they're like things that we could go do as a group. Like go on a ghost tour, as you know, or go to the Castillo de San Marco, you know what I mean? Like there's just things and there's food, there's fucking country renowned pizza place.
Or we just go to fucking Orlando and go to Universal Studios.
That's a bit more expensive, but yes, that could be cool too.
I mean, this trip's going to be expensive for everybody, you and fucking Brian anyways.
Well, dude, I'm saying like maybe we could like, you know, me and Brian could swing like, okay, we could pay for, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Fuck you.
Well, we just all meet at Myrtle Beach. Have a fucking white trash holiday.
Oh my god, and that's South Carolina?
Yeah.
Yeah, nah.
Wow, we could go to the fucking tiger thing.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I mean, what's his Doc Antle, the place he runs, he got arrested, so I don't know if he's still there or not.
I was about to say, the place they got raided?
Yeah, they got raided. He got arrested, but I mean, last time I went, there was a bunch of really attractive women working there, so we already know it's some kind of fucking sex dungeon kind of thing, so we can just take it over. We'll just fucking go in there with guns and shit and take the place over. Yab's Pod Resort with tigers and shit.
Jesus Christ.
We'll Jeff Lowe Doc Antle while he's in prison.
All right, so the answer to Ostar's question is yes, we'd like to do an episode together sometime at the same place.
If we're ever not poor.
Yeah, that's the big kicker right there. So the last question is a couple questions from Fenris. As two dudes who love music, as one dude who loves music and one dude who will just pick any song at random.
Yeah.
What is your current favorite song? If there are too many, like, you know, what's your current favorite? Do you have a favorite? Do you have a current favorite?
It varies. I've been listening to that Tenacious D album a lot lately. So probably if I picked a song off of that, would probably be Tribute or Wonder Boy. Those are pretty good. A song I will always listen to when it comes on is The Lap Dance is So Much Better If the Stripper is Crying. Love that.
That's a great song. Name was Russell.
Yeah, name's Russell.
One of my favorite songs.
It's dynamic. It changes every day.
One of my favorite songs of all time, World Coming Down by Typo Negative. Another one, I think it's called Tell Me What You See by the Beatles. Some of my favorite songs. My current favorite, like one that I discovered recently, and I'm like, fuck, I love this song, is by a band called Twin Tribes, and it's called Shadows.
Oh, yeah.
It's just dumb good. It's gothic music. It's fantastic. Do you have a favorite artist / band?
So I always answer this question with two things, Marilyn Manson and Eminem, because they are two people who I believe I've owned their entire catalog at some point. Every song they have, I will listen to and enjoy. Probably as influential as musicians have been on me, like when I was an impressionable child. So I would say those are my two go-tos when everybody's like, what's your favorite musician?
I can't throw you just one. I can throw you a handful. The Beatles, Typo Negative, Zeromancer, Mechana, Catatonia, Devin Townsend,
Justin Bieber.
And I'm sure that there are more. Like, dude, there are so many bands that I really, really love. But if I had to, like, pick a band that I've listened to and enjoyed the most over my entire life, it's probably the Beatles.
Yeah.
And people can say what they want about them. Like, you know, my dad is a Beatles head, so I grew up listening to it. So I have that nostalgia with it. And, you know, they're responsible for a lot of the music that we enjoy today.
Yeah.
As far as influence goes. So, and they really influenced Typo Negative, and I fucking love Typo Negative. So.
The Beatles and Michael Jackson are probably responsible for 90% of the music that exists now. I
love Michael Jackson's music.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking love Michael Jackson's music.
And I mean, he had a hand in a lot of shit that people don't know he had a hand in.
Yeah, like Sonic 3.
Yeah. Yeah, he wrote the soundtrack for Sonic 3, which is why now there's a different soundtrack for this like compilation that they're putting out.
So, fun fact too, he was uncredited in that song Somebody's Watching Me.
Yeah.
Like no one was going to fucking know that was Michael Jackson singing that chorus.
Yep.
Like the dude's doing the verses like, when I come home at night, I wrap the door real tight. And then the chorus comes in and it's like, I always feel like somebody's watching me. And I have no privacy. And I'm like, dude, that's obviously Michael Jackson, but yeah.
Did you know Eddie Murphy had a hit song in the 80s?
To party all the time, party all the time, party all the time. My girl wants to party all the time, party all the time. Yeah, that song fucking rocks, bro.
Yeah. Apparently, I saw a video about it where he was like, he bet somebody that he could make a hit song, And they were like, no, it was like some musician or something. They're like, no, wait, no. So he like made the song under a different name. And yeah, it became a hit song.
Hey man, Party All the Time by Eddie Murphy. Go listen to it. It's fucking fire.
It's not,
it really is.
Listed as Eddie Murphy though. What was the name he put it out under? I can't remember.
Oh, the one I'm thinking of is Eddie Murphy Party All the Time. I don't know what he put it out under, but that's what I look it up as. So the last question is your favorite genre of music. That's
kind of dynamic too. But it's usually somewhere between rap and rock, for lack of a better term. Like I love like folk music too, like modern folk music. But yeah, that's probably those three rolling through.
I lean very hard into two genres, and it's going to be no surprise to anyone, and that's metal and new wave. Love it. Anything 80s, like new wave stuff, I'm all about. Even if it's current stuff, that's just that style, all about it. Metal, obviously, everybody knows I'm a metalhead. And Angus McFife is his name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, brother, we made it.
We made it.
We made it to the end. And I want to give our Patreon shout outs before I forget to the wonderful Jeff and Kana. You guys rock. Where's the rest of our bullshit for the housekeeping? There it is. All right. If you would like to send us an email and be anonymous with asking us a question, yetanotherbspod@gmail.com. Or if you just want to send us whatever, you can pop it to us over there. We're on Facebook, kinda. Facebook.com/groups/yetanotherbspodcast. If Twitter's more your thing, you can find us at YabsPod, YABSPOD. You can find Jeremy at Just Call Me Jezza, and you can find me at Super Nerd Dalton. I upload the episodes each and every week to not only Anchor, where they distribute it to everywhere, but I also put them on yabspod.wordpress.com, along with embedded links to our songs of the week and Jeremy's awesome photoshops that he do every week for the show. And last but not least, and most importantly, if you want to check us out and support the show, you can go to patreon.com/yabspod, YABSPOD, and donate. $1 gets you early access and a shout out. Yeah, sorry. I'm very tired. It's early access and a shout out, and then $5 gets you both of those plus extra bullshit.
Yeah, we're going to be recording another extra bullshit episode sometime soon, and we have another one planned. Well, we have a series of them planned that I'm gonna start working on the behind the scenes on that probably tomorrow.
Yeah, we need to hash out choices and things for that. Yeah.
If you would like soon. An extra 30 minutes to an hour worth of bullshit at least once a month, possibly more, go drop that $5 tier on that Patreon there, and we can use that $5 to have a live in-person podcast recording.
Yeah, I will say some of the bullshit episodes might be a little longer than 30 minutes to an hour, but not all of them are going to be. Yeah. Not all of them are going to be normal episode long.
we try to keep them shorter. Try to keep them focused on one topic, but you've listened to us like 27 times now. You know we like to ramble about random shit, so yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, man. I am still getting used to getting back to work and everything, so my body is just like, bruh, let's get some food and lay down.
Yeah.
So on that note, I am going to go ahead and call this one here. Sorry, I wanted to make you think my computer froze. As always, guys, take it easy.
I would have met you. Now it's a little late. face. They think that your early ending was all wrong. Suppose I never, but look how they all got strong. That's why I say, hey man, nice shot. Good shot, man. That's why I say, hey man, nice shot. Good shot, man. Now that the smoke's gone, the air is all clear. Those who were right there, they got a new kind of fear. You fight and you were right, but they were just too strong. They stick it in your face and make you smell what they consider wrong. That's why I say, hey man, nice shot.
away from tensions on the verge of drastic ways. Can't escape this place, I deny your face. Sockets in my eyes, I think I'm slowly dying. Put me in a homemade cellar, put me in a hole for shelter. Someone hear me please, all I see is hate. I can hardly breathe and I can hardly die. That's all I beg, so that's all I pay, so apparently I can. Lost, blood at my own cost. Hearing laughter scoffed, learning from the rust detached from such and such. Bleak, all around me weak, listening incomplete. I am not a dog, but you're the one a doggy. I am in a very kennel. I have never felt so final. Someone help me please, losing all reserves. I am fucking God, I think I'm fucking dying. That's all my face, so apparently I can get out. That's all my face, so apparently I can. You lost there, but you'll never see. There's something inside me. You lost there, but you'll never see. Something inside me. You lost there, but you'll never see. Something inside me. You lost there, but you'll never see. Something in you that's mine. Come on, tell me it's alright. I'm willing and never take it to myself. Nothing to my brain, nothing to my brain. All of this, all is a place. Everything I know, I can die. I can die. I can die. I can die. You lost that you'll never see. There's something inside me. You lost that, but you'll never see. Something inside me. You lost there, but you'll never see. Something inside me. You lost there, but you'll never see. Something in you unexposed. Despise.